Welcome back to the best division in football with your boys Awthentik and The Beard. Would like to welcome everybody to the AATB Divisional Round preview. We got 8 teams left in the playoffs, man. 0 from the NFC East. I think that's probably the right thing here with the poorest division in football. Shout out to the name of our podcast, though, one time, man. End of Sunday, we're going to know, man, what teams are going to be playing for a bid to get into the big game. I'm really looking forward to this, man. We got the Bengals at the Titans. We got the Bucks taking on the Los Angeles Rams. We also got the 49ers at Packers. And last but not least, we got the biggest game of the week with the Buffalo Bills coming in hot, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, man. This should be a really, really fun episode. Make sure to stay tuned. After every preview of every game we do, we're going to be doing the over-under kind of type game we did last show on last Thursday. So should be a lot of chat interaction today. Without further ado, man, let me bring in the left side, or the strong side to my left side. Y'all know what it is, man. The best co-host in the country. What's poppin', The Beard? How you living, man?
Hey, man, you know me. I'm excited for football. I just had a wild night last night. I was out at the club till like 4 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
This already sounds like you lying over here.
Yesterday I did a 4-hour stream on Whatnot selling nothing but baseball cards. So I sold over 100 baseball cards last night. Got everything packed this morning and taken to the post office. So definitely cranking out on Whatnot. I'm going to be doing a football card-only show soon. Just been cranking out to work, man. Just trying to – I miss having, like Thursday night football.
I know.
And
the
even
weeks
during,
just seem so much longer now.
It does. And during, college football season – you still have football basically 5-6 nights a week. So it's just trying to, get through the week. It does seem a lot longer. And I will tell you that Adam and Ian, they keep texting me every time somebody interviews somebody for a GM or a head coaching spot. And I'm just like, Jesus, all day long. We have conducted an interview with the assistant general manager.
I've been getting the notifications crazy myself too, man. I think the Giants finally closed out that process here, man. So maybe they'll be announcing a new GM in the next couple of days. I know a lot of Giants fans are hoping to get that news by Monday. Looks like it's going to be Joe Shane from Buffalo, which would be real nice, man. He could bring in Dable over here possibly. And maybe try to correct these problems that the New York Giants have had on offense, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody who's watching right now, who's, tags us on these sort of conversations on Twitter, whether it's Washington football team, New York Giants, or NFL in general. I find it super interesting always. Big shout out to Brian. That was a really interesting one that he brought up today about Daniel Jones and how the GMs that are coming in for discussions, how the talks are around Daniel Jones, because it is super important, to kind of think about that. So, and I wonder how it is for these coaches who are still in the playoffs right now. I don't know if I would be doing interviews. I don't know if I'd be that. Yeah, doing interview and then game planning for the biggest game, basically, because every game in the playoffs is the biggest game of the year for you right now at this point, because it's win or go home. So it's definitely super fascinating. The how the process of the offseason starts while the season is still going on.
I'll tell you this, though. Shout out to Brian, yo. Definitely a Daniel Jones, probably the number one Daniel Jones fan that I know. And if you go digging on the internet, you can find anything to support, any opinion you could possibly have. So, I think a little bit of that is smoke and mirrors here. What's the GM going to come in and say, I don't like Daniel Jones? You might lose a job off the strength of just that. So get the job first. Then we'll figure out where we're going. I think Daniel Jones will be the quarterback going into 2022. But we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see how this all plays out. And man, when we get to that draft, I'm gonna be extremely hyped this year. I'm super ecstatic, looking forward for that draft.
I think it's time for an official Awthentik and The Beard draft party show.
Maybe. We'll see. I was talking to Bad Dog, and shout out to Bad Dog, too, who had me on his channel just a couple of days ago on Tuesday. It was an awesome conversation, man. We talked a lot about the draft, a lot about the new GM, who was going to come in for the head coach. And shout out to all the new subscribers that we gained from that, man. We've just been seeing a lot more traffic on the channel. And I just got to commend Bad Dog just for sharing his platform with us, man. You know, Bad Dog is pushing now he's getting up there around 100,000 subscribers. I think he's sitting around like 91K right now. And doing that live stream with him definitely was a benefit for us, man. We got a lot of new subscribers. So anybody who's new here today, off the strength of the Bad Dog conversation that we had the other day, man, we appreciate you pulling up, man. And yeah, welcome to the fam, as we like to call everybody in the chat. And speaking of the chat, man, let's get to it, man. Let's say a couple little shout-outs to the people in the chat and get going. We got 4 games to take care of today, and we got a ton of over-unders. When I told the Beard how many over-unders we got, he was like, whoa. So we got a ton to go through. I know y'all going to enjoy that. Looking like me a couple of podcasts to go for sure, man.
Big shout-out to the homie Roman. Welcome back, sir. Speaking of Daniel Jones. Man, that's quite the mugshot there, Mr. Daniel Jones.
That is quite the mugshot. Them eyes looking like they're not going too straight, man. Them joints kind of going towards the center a little bit.
Suchit is in the building. What's going on? Great to see you.
Shout out Suchit one time.
And Coach Taylor is in the building. Great to see you, Coach Taylor.
Shout out Coach Taylor one time in the building.
Appreciate you stopping by for sure. Who else we got in the building? No Mets, no Nets, no Jazz.
Day one. What's poppin', fam?
Good to see you, sir. Mac, the Giants fan, is in
what up,
the
Mac?
building.
Squad in the building.
My man. And my favorite GQ name on the YouTube, Mr. Edward Squires. What is going on, sir?
God.
Great to see you.
What's poppin'?
Who else we got in the building? Mike B. 701, you late?
A little late. We had a quick little scare right before we went live, and I forgot. I was testing out some plugins I got today, and I left one on. I was like, oh, that sounded kind of crazy right now.
Oh, man. Big shout out to my man, the Get Back with Ashton Griffin. Ash Money in the building. What's going on,
big shout out,
sir?
Ash Money one time.
Lax 044.
Yes, sir. What up, Lax?
Tipping on Fofos. My man Lax.
Fofos.
Old man Rob. What's going
up, Rob?
on?
What's poppin', fam?
And there goes the man.
Yes, sir.
Brian.
My man,
What's
Brian.
going on, sir?
Brian Daniel Jones, Porras. How you living, fam? Hope all is well. Hey, so check this out, though. Brian is a fan of Duke, though. I figured that out. So he's a Daniel Jones supporter. I give him the pass off that. He can say whatever he wants about Daniel Jones. He's a Duke fan, so he's real deal.
We burn all Duke things here.
Yeah, I know how you feel about Duke.
I still love you, Brian. I still love you, though.
Big North Carolina fan over there.
Tonio Bots in the building.
What's up, fam?
The man, Lucas, checking in from Australia.
Hey, Lucas, let me tell you. So, you know, I've been slowly but surely getting through those Australian snacks you sent over, right? Yo, them Tim Tams, bro.
The Tam Tams.
Are they Tam Tams or Tim Tams? Them Tam Tams is fire. Oh my God. Yo, them Jones is fire. I did a little bit of sweet, little salty kind of vibe. I had some plain potato chips to go with. I'm calling them Tim Tams. Them joints is Tim Tams. Them joints was fire, bro. Straight fire, man. I appreciate that. And I got you that wrench. Shout out to Waterfly, who hit me up in the DM and said, yo, Lucas needs that wrench. I was like, Lucas ain't got no wrench? Come on, cuz.
Yeah, so it's funny because Lucas was in the Over the Years chat the other day, and I was telling him, I was like, man, them snacks hitting so good. Josie was like, you think it's too early to ask him for some more?
Oh, yeah, Josie?
And I was like, yeah. But big shout out to Lucas.
Yeah,
Appreciate
big shout out,
you
Lucas.
As always, brother. Who else we got in the building? Jason Thomas is in the building. Says, what's up, brothers and sisters?
What's up, fam? What's up? We got
And
an import on the profile pic. I'm digging that.
Yeah, Kai 001 in the mix. Always good to see
What's
you
poppin',
in
Kai?
the building, sir.
Hope all is well, my
Appreciate
G.
the support for sure. Stephen White with his traditional hi, y'all.
Shout out Stephen White. Re-up gang in the building. What's up, fam?
Big shout out. And Base VA Grant says, I'd like to hear how that searching process compares to how the Bears are doing their search. Very interesting.
That is
so
very
many
interesting.
teams
We'll
are doing
see.
some searches right now, which is what's crazy. So
yeah, I'm looking to see Brian Leftwich land somewhere. I saw Dan Quinn getting a couple interviews. I don't know, man. We just 1 year removed from this guy stinking it up in Atlanta. I don't know if we're ready to bring him in as a head coach. I think
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
I would like to see Byron Leftwich in Jacksonville.
That'll be fire. I mean,
return back to the team and bring him back to glory sort of situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Perfect
I just
person
think
to
it would
do
be
it.
a good fit for him. Big shout out to 5-String Fling, the Art Law. That's a new name.
Hey, what's up, fam? Hope all is
New
well.
little,
Hope all is
little
well.
awesome emoji avatar. I still haven't figured out what to call these things. Mini thumbnails.
Yeah,
avatars?
avatar is definitely appropriate, but I always go profile picture just to avoid any controversy.
That makes sense, yeah. And Sabrina always holding us down. Great to see you. Great to see you.
Shout out to Queen Sabrina. Was popping. Hope all is well.
And another new name, Flem Dog M is in the mix. Great to see you. Thanks for
Shout out Flem Dog in the
appreciate
building.
it.
Welcome to the fam, my G. Appreciate you tuning into that Bad Dog stream as well, too.
Facts. Speaking of that, big shout out to No Mets, No Nets, No Jets for the $4.99 super chat. Says shout out to Bad Dog.
Big facts. One of the realest out there.
For sure. Joey G Sports is in the building.
What
we
up,
got
Joey?
Kaylin Dragon 56.
Got to change that
Mike
name back,
K.
Kaylin. I actually tried out some Double Dragon the other day. I was telling Bad Dog about how when we both retire, we got to get on these video games I've been playing lately. But let me tell you something real quickly about old school video games. Yo, them joints was garbage, bro. Like, I'm playing Double Dragon. I'm looking at this like, I used to have fun playing this, yo. Like, they like moving all square and robotic. I'm like, nah, this ain't the vibe. Give me my Apex Legends. Give me my 2K and my Xbox, and I'm good. Couple retro vibes, though. I can't. I must admit.
I mean, there's still, have you played Paperboy yet?
Thank you for that suggestion, because I forgot about the Paperboy. I'm going to throw on some Paperboy, and I got to throw on some Excitebike, too. But I went through, like, some Marios. I went through some sports games. I definitely went through and played some Joe Montana football. I was like, yo, terrible. They were
What
terrible.
about Coach K?
Didn't play the Coach K yet. I kind of remember the vibes of that one very well. I did, like, Turtles. I did, what other OG joints did I do? I was mainly surfing through, didn't do Road Rash yet, because I remember that one well, too. But Joe Montana's, I was running through those to try to see the evolution of it. Played some old Maddens and whatnot, man. All those games, they weren't good, bro. They just weren't good.
Well, they were good back then, man.
They were good back then. Yeah, they were good back then. I'll give you that.
And big shout out to Marjorie, always holding us down in the chat. We appreciate it.
Shout out to Queen Marjorie one time in the building.
Another new name. Got to show out some love. Gerard. I'm going to go with Gerard.
Let me see. I want to try.
Kagayat?
Kagayat. I like Kagayat for now. We'll get corrected in the chat, I'm sure. Flores, I don't like Quinn. I kind of like Flores a little bit, but I don't like the fact that we're going to try to double dip on the New England coaching tree. I'm a little bit worried about that. So for me, man, it's I like Dable and I like Harbaugh. If Harbaugh's still in the mix, I like Harbaugh. But I mean, that seems a little bit hypothetical now, but I trust them. This is one thing. I'm trusting the New York Giants organization to make the right decision. You failed so much in the whole fool me once type deal. The Giants can't they can't mess this up. And this is the most pivotal draft the Giants have had probably in 10 years, bare minimum. You cannot mess up this head coach. You cannot mess up this GM, and you cannot mess up this draft.
Can't mess up. Can't do it. Won't do it.
Won't do it.
Big shout out to Kevin at PRF. And Bass VA Grant says that is Joe Deals. And no Mets, no Nets, no Jets with the $1.99 super chat says Streets of Rage still holds up.
Oh, I definitely pulled up the Streets of Rage. You know what's crazy about Streets of Rage, and I'm realizing this with the retro box thing my girl got for Christmas. All the games were pretty much the same like that, like how Streets of Rage was, left to right, up and down to try to get your three, dimensions and whatnot. It's bad. Video games from back in the day were
spoiled,
awful.
Man.
I am. I mean, I'm playing first-person shooter games with all my friends. We getting into the world doing all this crazy stuff. So going back to the old school vibes, left to right, man. Once you like get past a portion of the level, you can't go back and stuff like that. I mean, we were very limited, man, on Nintendo and Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16. I've been trying all kind of stuff here, man. I got every game, bro.
Listen, that sounds like so much fun. I don't even know if you could play it online with other people, that would
set it off. That'd be
crazy. That'd be crazy.
And I got to look into that. We just got it. I mean, maybe there's a possibility that you could do something like that. I'm not sure.
If so, you let me know, and Josie and I will be buying one.
Bet.
We'll have
expensive.
a game
throw
night.
that out there. Them things is definitely expensive. Yeah.
Okay, maybe not.
Super expensive.
wedding bills first. We got some other recommendations. Zelda, Metal Gear, Super
awesome.
Tecmo Bowl.
Yes, fire.
And it's okay. So
Kugayit.
Kugayit.
We got Kugayit. Kugayit.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it. The spelling is totally off. My last name is very similar. Like, you read it, you're like, oh, no, there's no way it's pronounced like that. So, Kugayit. I'm going to try to remember that.
Here we go, and happy to be here. Got everything for me on this channel. Beards, Beats, and Giants. I love the content. Big shout out.
Hey, big shout out to Flim Dog.
Jake SW Hunter, NBA Jam. He's on fire.
Big classics. Big shout out to Marv Albert one time. Big classics.
And big shout out to Bad Dog for the $4.99 super chat. Says thanks for coming on the channel the other night. Had a great time. Make sure you play some Ninja, Gaiden, and Metroid, and of course, Tecmo Bowl.
Yes, Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, super throwback. Love both of those games, man. Yeah, I got a laundry list of games to play on Nintendo, etc. too, because I've been playing a couple on Super Nintendo and on Nintendo 64. I had to bring back the Perfect Dark, GoldenEye vibes, a little bit of F-Zero for Super Nintendo, played a little bit of Street Fighter, see if my Hayuken was still right, you know, things like that.
Capcom versus Marvel on
Fire.
Sega Saturn. We used to play that at Alex Rodriguez's house when he lived over on Lund by Einstein back in the day, man.
It's crazy too because it has like Sega CD on it, and it's got there was like a 32-bit Sega system as well. I can't remember what that, it might have been called like Genesis 32 or something like that. But the enhancement, dog, I was thinking like, yo, I'm about to go 32-bit. It's about to be fire. Man, that joint was looking like Roblox out that joint, man. I was super disappointed.
And I got to give a big shout out to my fiance. Apparently she is ready for
the snacks?
The vintage video game.
Oh, the video games. Or more Australian snacks.
Oh, yeah, definitely that too.
Hey, shout out to the gang in the building, man. We appreciate all of y'all pulling up, man. Y'all know what it is over here at Awthentik and The Beard. We got no fans. We got only fam in the building. And we going across all platforms, man. Hopefully Twitch can hold it together today. They've been struggling. I've been getting them notifications of these errors on the streams. We'll see how that goes, man. But we definitely appreciate everybody pulling up for this divisional round preview that we're about to present to y'all here right now. So, yeah, let's start with this game. This first game with this is your team now. This is your team. I'm calling them your team now. You are a fan of this team now. That's just how it goes. So let's start with the Bengals. Shout out to the graphics department one time. Y'all know what it is. You're looking at the graphics department. The Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals will do battle on Saturday at Nissan Stadium in Nashville for a divisional round matchup that will determine who takes one of the spots in the AFC Championship game. The Titans are coming off a first-round bye after finishing with 12 wins and securing the AFC South and the top seed in the conference. It was by no means an easy road for the Titans as the team had to overcome a ton of injuries to get to where they are today. The Bengals finished with a 10-7 mark and won the AFC North. It was the first double-digit win season and division crown for Cincinnati since 2015, and the future is as bright as it's ever been for the franchise. The Bengals were also able to exercise their playoff demons in the wild card round, defeating the Las Vegas Raiders 26-19 for their first postseason win since the 1990 playoffs. Kickoff is set for Saturday at 4:30 p.m. These time slots are really crazy this week. I don't know if you saw. They're all over the place. It's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock. The Titans are favored in this game actually by 3.5 points. The over-under is 47.5. Seems a little high if you ask me. Now, last week was pretty solid, man, for the Bengals, man, versus the Raiders. I think the number one statistic they had on the day, 0 turnovers, man, and I think that was the difference for them. I thought that the Las Vegas Raiders front was going to give the Bengals a little bit of trouble, but that wasn't the case. Joe Burrow was 24-34 for 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. And we know about Jamar Chase, man. He's been just having these crazy, crazy games as far as yardage goes and yak goes. He had 9 receptions for 116 yards. Chase has recorded at least 100 yards receiving in 3 of his past 4 games dating back to Week 16. You had a big game from C.J. Uzomah, 6 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown. Joe Mixon did what he could do on the ground. I like how they committed to the running game, 17 rushes for 48 yards. T. Higgins, 1 reception for 10 yards, and I left that as the last stat because in this game versus the Titans here, T. Higgins going to have to step up. I feel like the performance against the Raiders last week was a pretty solid performance, but it's not going to be enough for the Bengals to be able to get over the Titans unless the Titans are really shooting themselves in the foot and can't find a way to run the ball. In the last meeting, which was in 2020, the Bengals beat the Titans 31-20. That was in Cincinnati, but a lot has changed since then. The Bengals, you know, they've been a team on the rise this year. I think they kind of put the league on notice last year This year, they're like, yo, we are real deal. We can really make a run here. We're going to have Derrick Henry back in this game. We haven't seen Derrick Henry since he got knocked out in week 8 with the foot injury that he had. I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of rust. This is probably one of the hardest games for me to pick here. If Henry can get back to form, I think it's going to be an easy W for the Titans. They'll be able to keep Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense on the sidelines. Derrick Henry in the playoffs has definitely been a baller, too. I'm sure you remember the run that they had when they first got Ryan Tannehill. There was like 2 playoff games back-to-back where Tannehill threw the ball like 8 times, and then the next game it was like 12 times. Henry went over 150 in both of those games. Henry is one of 2 players in NFL history to record at least 150 yards rushing in at least 3 playoff games. The only other person to do that was Terrell Davis from the Denver Broncos, and we know me and you got to see Terrell Davis in his prime. It was very short-lived, but he was totally a beast. And one more little nugget before I pass this off to you. You know, New York Giants fans, we all know about this. We were a very injury-prone team this year. All our free agent acquisitions, a lot of players coming back off injury as well. When you're looking at Saquon Barkley, you had Blake Martinez at the middle linebacker position go down. We dealt with a ton of injuries this year. Kadarius Toney couldn't stay healthy all year. But the Tennessee Titans, man, they broke a couple NFL records, and staying healthy this year was one of their biggest problems, man. And despite all their injuries this season, that led to the Titans fielding an NFL record. 91 players have been fielded for the Titans this year, and I think that's pretty crazy. Now, one quick little matchup I want to add to this right before I throw it to you, actually, is both of these 2 teams as well finished in the top 10 in sacks allowed. We know about Joe Burrow. He's been getting killed this year. I think it was 54 sacks they allowed. But on the flip side of that, you know, you got Ryan Tannehill, who's also in the top 10. But now, when it comes to rushing the passer, both of these teams were in the top 15. Tennessee landed in the top 10. They had 47 sacks on the season, and Cincinnati was just 2 spots behind them with 42. I think that this Titans team, they've been dealing with a lot of adversity, but the defense is so improved. You know, I'm just like, I would normally pick the Bengals in this game if this was the traditional Titans defense that we've been used to, but this defense has definitely been stepping up. And I like what I've seen out of safety Kevin Byard, and he's got 5 interceptions on the season. 4th player in franchise history to have at least 5 interceptions in 3 different seasons. And also defensive end Harold Landry, 12 sacks on the season, man. Yeah. That's the most for any Titan since 2010. The only thing I'm worried about is the rust, man. Are the Titans – they haven't played for 2 weeks, bro. Are they going to be rusty is the real question here. But what are you seeing in this matchup as far as the Bengals taking on the Titans here, Titans at home?
Well, you talked about the Bengals not turning the ball over, right, last week against the Oakland, against the Las Vegas Raiders. Joe Burrow has actually been spectacular with the football as of late. Since week 14, he's got 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So, I mean, he's definitely playing.
That's some Aaron Rodgers type stuff right there.
I mean, literally, when I get to the Aaron Rodgers stat of that, it's very similar. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but still, 13 touchdowns and 0 interceptions since week 14. For me, like, going into the playoffs, like, on a roll, it means so much. I think people really undervalue that. And for me, Cincinnati is just hot. They've won every game that they played towards the end of the season was basically a must-win game. So for me, I love the fact that they're playing on this sort of roll. Now, we know about the Bengals' ability to pass the ball, especially the deep threat possibilities. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I mean, all of them can catch the deep pass, and all of them can pop up for a huge game at any point in time. Tennessee does defend against the tight end really well, so I think that Usma might be the odd man out in this game.
Yeah, but that is a possibility. And T. Higgins, too, I think we got to keep our eye on T. Higgins, like I was saying, too, because if T. Higgins can't have a big game, the Bengals, they can't rely on just Jamar Chase in this game. That's not going to get it done.
Yeah, and so Tennessee's pass defense versus wide receivers is good. Now, if you factor in the tight end, obviously it's a little bit different. But against just the wide receiver, Tennessee's pass defense, 31st in the league when it comes to receptions allowed to wide receivers. 31st in the league when it comes to yards allowed to wide receivers.
I was going to ask you about that because the receptions is one thing, but then when you allowing the yards to go with the receptions, that's kind of scary for your defense.
And 28th in the league against wide receivers when it comes to touchdowns. So that matchup is basically like it's always going to be something where one team is better at it than the other, right?
Yeah.
Like but like when it's your best thing, like the Bengals pass game against the defense of the Titans, whose Titans defense defending the wide receiver position is really bad. That is a huge advantage for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, obviously, Derrick Henry, we don't know. There's nobody really knows what's going to happen. Is he going to come in and carry the ball 30, 40 times? They still have the other two running backs. Are they going to play the hot hand?
30 or 40 might be a little ridiculous, but I think maybe around 20.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, but he may come in and only carry the ball 5 or 10 times. But
I mean, I don't know if you saw Pat McAfee this morning, man, but they were talking about how he looked in practice. They were like, oh, he's ready to go.
I mean, listen, does anybody doubt the machine that Derrick Henry is? I don't think so. I mean, the dude's not human. We all know that, but still,
Facts.
you have to kind of play that as a factor.
Definitely.
And I will say that Ryan Tannehill has played pretty well his last 3 games. Last 3 games, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And Tennessee ran the ball more than any other team in the National Football League this year. They had the most rushes of any team in the National Football League.
And I think that's why they're here. We saw Derrick Henry go down in week 8, and everybody was like, oh, that's it for Tennessee. But they found ways to, running back by committee, having other guys go out there and run the ball. What's the homie's name? Foreman? Deonta Foreman, yeah, he's really stepped up, with Derrick Henry out of the lineup. We've seen him have some big games. And you don't want to go away from the hot hand. This kind of reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles game against the Bucs last week when I was saying, like, you got Boston Scott who's coming in with that hot hand. Miles Sanders been a little bit banged up coming into that game at the end of the season. He was dealing with the hand injury. They decided to kind of go with Miles Sanders, and it kind of backfired. I think that maybe Boston Scott should have been the guy. So Tennessee's going to have to really keep their eyes on that. Like, if it's not working early and you see maybe this injury's kind of lingering with Derrick Henry, you got to go back to your bread and butter of what's been working to get you here for the back half of the season.
And the thing that's difficult about that is, as everybody knows, Derrick Henry's the type of running back where, like, he might only have, like, 40 yards, and then end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter, next thing you know, he's got 188 yards.
Right.
Like, he's just a different breed of a running back when it comes to that situation. It does look like Hendrickson is going to be available to play for the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's solid.
Which is going to be very important for them. Like you said, Tennessee does allow a lot of sacks. The big thing here is going to be red zone. Cincinnati is going to have to do better in the red zone. They're going to have to do better on third down. Tennessee is really good defensively on third down and in the red zone as well. So that's a matchup that Tennessee is going to have to, take advantage of. And if they can, get the Bengals off the field on third down and hold them to field goals, then they'll be able to stick in this game. But all of that being said,
yeah,
I'm riding with I'm riding with my boys, Burrow and Chase.
That's your peoples. That's your peoples.
I didn't even know that Houday was a thing until this year. So
really? Oh, that's been a thing for a long time too. That's been a Bengals.
I know they have the Saints is who that, right?
Yeah, something like that too. Yeah.
So the Bengals are Houday. Now all of a sudden I can just hear Trick Daddy in my head, But I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals in this game by a final score of 24-20.
Okay, so I went into this show today with no picks, no scores, no nothing.
I don't have it either.
I was like, yo,
this is all the
I'm
top
gonna
of
just
the dome.
present my side of the story. I'm gonna see what the beard talking, and then I'm gonna pick a score. This is the most difficult game for me to pick, I swear, because like the Bengals, you're right, they've been hot coming into the playoffs. They looked great in the first round in the wild card weekend. They looked fantastic. Oh, my God. The Titans have just unexpectedly beat teams without Derrick Henry. They've been beating teams all year. This takes me back to that Buffalo game that they won, and I was like, how the hell, a primetime game, you beat Buffalo without Derrick Henry? Oh, man, I got to just go with, I'm going to die on it. If they fail, they fail. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans in this game. Left side, strong side, too, bro. What we look like not picking the Titans. I'm going to go with the Titans in this game. I think it's not going to be a high-scoring game, but it's not going to be an OD low-scoring game either. So I'm going to go 20. All right, I got to just think about the bare minimum points I see the Bengals putting up. The Bengals are going to put up 21. They're going to put up 21. They got to put up 21. I'm going to go 27-24 Titans. And yo, you
Yeah,
should do
close.
this. Do you got a fresh piece of paper over there?
I got a whole book.
All right, so we're gonna need about 2-3 pages. Keep
I
the
know,
scores
this-
for me if you can, and then the over unders, which we got a
Okay.
gang of over unders.
Yeah, I know. So listen, okay. So I got what I said. I said 24-20.
Yeah, and I got 27-24. And everybody in the chat, let's see what kind of scores y'all talking here. I want to kind of gauge how y'all feeling. I saw somebody was saying that the better quarterback's going to beat the better running back. My man Jake Hunter says Titans have experience. Gerard, I already forgot how to pronounce the last name. You're going to have to remind us a couple more times. Says he's going with the home team, so he's going with the Titans in this one. Kai 001 says 23-19 Titans. Old man Rob says Bengals hold Henry under 100 yards. Bengals win 24-20. We're going to get to that segment right there, old man Rob. You know what it is. Appreciate you pulling up. ENA, we got times, got 30-17 for the Bengals. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. Got 34-23 for the Titans. Mac, the Giants fan, shout out Mac one time in the building. Good to see you here, fam. He's got 24-20 Titans. I'm seeing a lot of Titans here, man. What's up with the Bengals? Five-string fling says Bengals all day. Okay, we got a little bit of help from the Bengals here one time. And Mac, the Giants fan, actually says, I think this could be the Titans' year. They have been scratching the surface the last couple of years. That's so true, man. And one little last nugget before we get off this game. Mike Vrabel, man, he's been a 2-1 coach pretty much his whole career, man. 41-24 regular season record in 4 years as the Titans head coach, and he's 2-2 in the playoffs. So this is like that game to kind of get you over that little bit of a hump, put you at 3-2. I'm going with the Titans and Mike Vrabel too. We got to factor in the coaching as well. Let me see what other scores we got here. Flemdog says 21-17 for the Bengals. Stephen White says 32-23 Titans. Who else we got?
Ignacio
said,
Bengals all the way with the Capitals and everything.
And Joel also says 28-25 Bengals. All right, man. So we kind of leveled that out. That's what's up. I like that because it was looking a little bit too pro Titans over here for a little bit here. So had to get a couple little Bengals scores in there as well. So I like to see that. All right,
so
go ahead.
Before we go to over-unders, I'm going to give you a little betting thing. So they updated the Super Bowl odds, and Tennessee is 12-1 to go to the Super Bowl going in to this weekend. So they are definitely one of the if you want to take a flyer, the Titans, I mean, San Francisco 49ers, one of those two teams could be good money.
Are those
really
the two teams with the lowest odds?
I think so. Yeah,
Niners and Titans. Yeah, Niners rightfully so. The Titans, man, it's hard to gauge what they doing over there, man. You look at their offense, you're like, man, they've been banged up all year. Julio Jones has not really been a major factor. He's not. It's kind of like what A.J. Green did with the Arizona Cardinals, And it's just, I think the Bengals look like the team that most people would pick. That offense is electric.
I was listening to the radio today. Shout out to the homie Travis Thomas from the Travis Thomas Experience. He had somebody on his show from betting from BetQL. I forget the guy's name.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were talking about how this Titans team kind of gives you those vibes of the Eagles team that won the Super Bowl a couple of years back.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just how
that
as
Eagles
a
team
one
was very
seed,
unexpected.
But
was
always
the Eagles, were they a 1 seed?
I think they were.
No, they weren't no 1 seed. They were like
they
a 2
weren't
or
a 1
3
seed.
seed.
They were an underdog, going throughout every playoff game, which Tennessee is, if they win this game, they're going to be an underdog the rest of the way.
For sure. But they are the number 1 seed, though. I think that's what makes it a little bit different. The Eagles team kind of came out of nowhere, and it was like, they weren't a wild card. I do remember that. I definitely remember they weren't a wild card, but I think they were the number 2 or number 3 seed for sure. Johnny H in the building, too. He says Burrow legacy continues to build. Cincy 31-20.
Big shout out to ENA. We got time for the $4.99 super chat. Says whoever gets the most yards out of Henry or Chase, that team wins, I believe.
Ooh, I like that. Running back versus wide receiver. I like that. That's a good pick, man. We appreciate you pulling up, ENA.
Which star player stars most?
Say it again.
I said which star player stars most?
Yeah, that's real. Now what if Mixon outrushes Henry? Do you think the Titans still would have a chance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't see Mixon having a big day, but we'll see. Let's get into these over-unders. We got a lot to go over on this episode. We're going to try to keep this one under 2 hours. So, buckle your seatbelt and you're going to be here with Awthentik and The Beard for a little bit here. But let's get to these over-unders.
Number 1 seed.
Were they number 1 seed? I got to double check that. Kai, did you?
All right.
Are we Google confirmed on that, Kai?
The over-under sheet is ready.
All right, let's get it. And while we get these over-unders, I need to know if that's Google confirmed, Kai, because I swear they weren't the number 1 seed. The Eagles number 1? That don't even sound right to me. But, hey, who knows? I could be wrong on this. All right, so let's go with these over-unders. We're going to start with one of the quarterbacks real quick right off the bat. Joe Burrow over 278 yards passing versus the Titans. The chat, this is how this goes for everybody that's new here. We need to see an O in the chat if you're taking the over. We need to see a U in the chat if you're taking an under. And you can use the hand emoji or a P if you're going to take the push on the yards and you think Joe Burrow is going to get exactly 278 yards passing versus the Titans. So let's go to the chat real quick and see what the chat is talking about. Mac, the Giants fan, he says he's taking the over. And Kai says Wiki confirmed on the number 1 seed for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that is true. That does not sound right to me. That's crazy. Waterfly also says he's taking the over for Joe Burrow on the 278 yards. James Williams in the room one time was popping, fam. Good to see you here, man. Another one of the realists that be in the chat one time. ENA We Got Time says Big O. He's taking the over on the 278 passing yards from Joe Burrow. We also got O's from No Mets, No Nets, No Jets, and Flem Dog. John Kim in the building. Shout out John Kim. What's going on, fam? He takes the under on this one. And Kai 001 also takes the under. My GQ homie Edward Squires is taking the over on this one. All right, I'm going to get a couple of more before we go to the Beard for his take on this one here. Mike K's taking the over. Old Man Rob's taking the over. Stephen White is taking the over. Marjorie's taking the over. And Cole Mack holding us down one time over there on Twitch. And the logos be, you already know them logos be getting me.
I knew it.
I think I gave the answer before you got me, though. Cole Mack's also going with the over. So, the Beard, you've had enough time, bro. What's your thoughts on Joe Burrow getting over the 278 passing yards versus the Titans?
I gave you guys the stats. You know what I'm saying? You know that Tennessee team getting ready to give up. Look, Joe Burrow might throw over 350 yards. I'm taking the over.
350 yards, I'm taking the over. How many yards did he have last week?
I think he had like 244.
I'm going with the under. Divisional round competition is going to be a little bit heavier here. I'm taking the under in this one. So we're in a disagreement right off the bat. For those of y'all that don't know, I took the victory last week on the over-unders over the Beard, I think by 1. We only did about 10 of them. 6-5. We got a ton more today, so definitely stay tuned, man. All right, so that one's good. You got your notes are down and all that. You got us, right?
There you go. We're
all right, that's what's up. Shout out to Waterfly one time in the building, man. Good to see you, fam. All right, so the next one, and we're gonna fly through these a little faster. So chat, try to submit your over-unders in fast because we got to get this show in under 2 hours. That's the goal here. But if we got to push it to 3, 4, 5, 6 in the whatever, we're gonna do what we gotta do. Okay. Jamar Chase over, and look how I did this. Over 1 receiving touchdown versus the Titans. What you doing on this one, chat? How y'all feeling about this one? I'm gonna take like the first 5 or 6 and see how we looking on this one.
Listen, shout out to Awthentik. He does a good job with these. Okay, guys?
I appreciate
this
it,
is
bro.
not easy. Not giving you guys any layups here.
Shout out Kareem Yee one time in the building. He's taking the over 1 receiving touchdown. Now, that means it's got to be 2. No, you can't score 1.5 touchdowns in the NFL unless he kicks a field goal or something crazy. So we're going over from Kareem Yee. Mac the Giants fan takes the under. ENA We Got Time takes the over. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. I think you got the right idea here. He takes the push one time. Flem Dog takes the under. Thinks that Jamar Chase is going to go scoreless on Sunday's matchup. Frank M in the building. Shout out to Frank M one time. He's taking the over. 5-string Fling is also taking the over. E. Suds, yeah, he learned a little bit from No Mets. He's taking the push along with Stephen White. They're both taking the push. Waterfly taking the push. John Kim taking the push. Old Man Rob, he ain't so old because he knows where his hand emoji is. He's also taking the push. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets says that beat. Yeah, my girl said the exact same thing about this track. She loves this track too, y'all. I'm a big fan of this one. No drums, just old school vibe, just sample chop on this one. Edward Squires takes the under on this one. Nikki's in the building too, says Authentic and the Beard. I love the channel. Quality over quantity. Thank you for that. That means a lot over here. Marjorie Simmons takes the push, and Mike K takes the push. The Beard, what you got for Jamar Chase over 1 receiving touchdown versus the Titans?
So my initial reaction is push, right? That seems like the smart bet. But then I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe Jamar Chase has one of those games where he goes for like 2. If Joe Burrow throwing for 350, Jamar Chase might catch 175 and 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
you said 350.
Yeah. All right.
Shout out Suchith one time. Pusher P. Yes, sir. That's my guy right there.
I'm going to take the push.
Right on time on the drop and everything. You're taking the push. It's like time running out. You're taking the push on that one. Okay, I'm going under. He didn't score last week. He had a big game with 116 yards, but he didn't score last week in virtually a perfect game from the Bengals. No turnovers, no nothing. And the running game wasn't clicking, so I feel like, that'd be more of a reason for Jamar Chase to get in the end zone. I'm going to say he doesn't get in the end zone in this game. So we're 2 for 2 now with in disagreement here.
Answers. Yeah.
I like it a lot. All right, let's get to this next one time. Man, we got a ton for this game, too. Joe Mixon, over 70 yards rushing versus the Titans. Chat, let's get these submissions in real quickly, all right? We're going to give y'all a good 30 seconds to get them in. I'm on the clock now. That's how we doing these over-unders, Beard. I'm on the clock. Looking at the beats. You get 30 seconds. That's what it is, all right?
All right.
Shout out to everybody in the chat one time. We're pushing about 50 in the building right now. John Kim, right off the bat, is taking the over 70 yards rushing for Joe Mixon. ENA, we got time, takes the push, right? 70 on the button. Kai 001, he's taking the under on this one along with Stephen White and Waterfly. Kareem Yee also takes the push on the 70 yards, thinks he'll get right there at the 70. Mike K takes the under. Old man Rob with the hand emoji one more time. He's taking a push as well. Jake S.W. Hunter is taking the under along with Edward Squires and Jaden Medina. Shout out Jaden Medina in the building one time. How you living, fam? Flem Dog taking that over one time. And Cole Mack holding us down on Twitch one time. He's taking the under. Marjorie is taking the over. What else we got up in here? Shout out Bells in the building one time. Welcome to the fam. Also taking the under along with Santino. Shout out Santino one time in the building. Taking that under. And my man Suchit is also taking the under. And my man Mike Gorga says, love how you work this subtle vocals in. Taking the under. Shout out my man Mike Gorga one time, man. Clean in that profile pic. Salute to you, my guy. All right, Beard. That's 30 seconds is up. What you got on Joe Mixon going over 70 yards rushing versus the Tennessee Titans?
I'm gonna take the under. I think he goes over 70 total yards, but under 70 rushing.
I like how you sticking to a script here. You got the Joe Burrow for 350 yards. That'll equate to Jamar Chase getting at least 2 touchdowns, you were saying there. The running game is probably going to lack if that's the case. So I feel you on that. I like how you sticking with a real game plan here. This is kind of, if y'all don't know about this, the Beard does a roadmap normally for the NFC East. And he's definitely got a roadmap here for the playoffs here for the Bengals and for the Titans. All right, let's get to this next one here one time. I should leave that one off, but we'll go again. Jamar Chase, over 80 yards receiving. I disagreed with you on that one, didn't I?
No, you're going over 70 yards?
Okay, so let's go back. Joe Mixon, over 70 yards rushing versus the Titans. I'm taking the under.
All right, there we go.
Jamar Chase, over 80 yards receiving versus the Titans. Chat, let's see what you got. I'm taking the over in this one right off the bat, the Beard, just so you can write that one down right now. With the little chicken scratch you got going on over there with that paper. I'm going to get a chat another 20, 30 seconds to get these in and see how we looking here. Waterfly takes the over along with Mac, the Giants fan. Kai says that's an easy over. That's what's up. I like that, man. For me, it's been Jamar Chase has been either big game or kind of a low game. We'll see how it goes. Who else we got here? We got Cole Mack holding us down on Twitch one time. He's taking the over along with Flem Dog, Edward Squires, and Santino. Who else we got up in here? Kareem Yee is also taking the over. John Kim takes the push. Got Jamar Chase right there at 80 yards. Big over from ENA. We got time. Who else we got up in here? Bells takes the over along with Marjorie. Esud says 72 yards for Jamar Chase. 1 touchdown, though. Let's see. Mike Gorga's taking the under as well. Stephen White is taking the under. Old Man Rob taking the over. Heavyweight champion of the world is taking that over with 1,000 O's in his woo. Shout out to Ric Flair one time. And Jason Thomas just says Raiders. Raiders Nation must be in the building. Shout out Jason Thomas.
There's a lot of chat going on about my mustache and beard right now in the chat. So shout out to everybody who's showing love to the stash and the beard.
Oh, yeah. Jason Thomas said over or under as long as the beard matches the stash. Yeah. I be seeing him before the show. He be kind of giving you a couple little twirls, get that thing right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I took the over on this one, Beard. How you looking on this one? What you thinking?
Man, look, Joe Burrow going to throw for 350. So, you know Jamar Chase going to get over 80. I'm taking the over. Easy over.
I like
it. It ain't over easy, but it's an easy over.
It's an easy over. Yo, you just bars, man. You just giving them bars, bro. And here I am thinking I'm the rapper one time. All right. All right, so let's go to this next one here one time. I'm going to bring this back. The people seem to like this track a little bit. Joe Burrow over 23 completions versus the Titans. He grabbed that pen quick and was like, come on, dog. What you talking about over 23 completions? Chat, how y'all feeling about this one? Joe Burrow over 23 completions. Cole Mack on Twitch says over the 23 completions, along with Mac Suchith. They all got the over. My man Kai taking the push one time with the P from the what's that track from? Is it from Gunna that everybody talking about? The player, the P for the player one time. Stephen White in the building taking the over. Old Man Rob's going over with the rainbow emoji. Man, Old Man Rob know where them emojis is at. He got them emojis on deck.
I don't even know where those emojis are.
Kareem Yee takes the push one time. Thinks he'll have exactly 23 completions. E. Sud says that's tough, but he's taking it over, along with Marjorie Simmons. And ENA We Got Time takes the push, along with Edward Squires. John Kim as well taking the push on the 23 completions. And Jason Thomas says over, brothers. Mike Gorga takes the over one time. And I see he accidentally hit the I key, trying to hit the O key one time. Shout out to Jake S.W. Hunter in the building. He also takes the push. So, the Beard, what you got on this one, man? You taking the over 23 completions, I take it?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be really amazing if he could go for 350 yards on 23 completions. So, we're going to take the over.
I like it. Let me see. 23 completions. Yeah, if everything goes according to schedule the way I think it's going to go, the Bengals they're going to be behind on the scoreboard late in this game. They're going to be throwing the ball. So I'll go over 23 completions for Joe Burrow as well. All right, let's see what we got. Man. Y'all know how we do over here. We try to keep things interesting for y'all, man, not just give y'all a bunch of stats and nuggets and football jargon. We trying to keep y'all, engaged in what's going on here. So I got another one for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow over 2 passing touchdowns versus the Titans. Over. You see how I be doing. Sometimes I give you that 1.5, but I like to give you the over the 2 touchdowns. So we talking 3 touchdowns for Joe Burrow if you're going to take the over in this one. Chat, what y'all thinking about this one? Y'all taking the over, y'all taking the under on this one? Let me see these O's, these U's, and these pushes in the chat one time. All right, let's see. We got a push from Mac the Giants fan and from Jake S.W. Hunter right off the bat. John Kim as well. We got a lot of pushes today, yo. Edward Squires and Kai all taking the push. They think Joe Burrow is going to have exactly 2 touchdowns on the day. Stephen White takes the over. And Marjorie's also taking the push as well. ENA We Got Time is taking the over as well. Whew, so that's 3 touchdown passes for my man Joe Burrow. Now, the Beard's got him at 350 yards passing. I imagine he's going to be taking over in this one. We're going to see. E-Suds and Bells also take the push on this one. Kareem Yee with the over one time. Jason Thomas in the building, man. Shout out to Jason Thomas. I'm trying to figure out what import that is on that car right there. I can't really see it. Kind of look like a maybe like a Nissan front end or something. I can't really tell, but he's taking a push on this one along with Jake S.W. Hunter. And we also got Mike Gorga with the push, Old Man Rob with the push, Waterfly in the building. Day one was popping, Waterfly. Hope all is well. He's taking the over along with Suchith, who changed his mind last minute and goes with the push, actually. And Cole Mack says this is a tough one, but he's going to take the push on this one Frank's in the building one time. Shout out Frank M in the building. He says push it. He's taking the push on this one. Marjorie says 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown for the Bengals. 21 points on the day. That's where I had them at too. 21 points. All right, we're going to see how that works out. The Beard, what you got for this one, man? Joe Burrow over 2 passing touchdowns versus the Titans. Your man Bluegrass, let me see if he can influence you a little bit. He says he's going with the push one time.
You know what you have to do real good, right?
No.
Push it.
Push it. Real good. Shout out to Salt and Pepper one time on this one.
We're going with the push. We're going with
Shout
the
out
push.
to Angela
Hey,
one time in the building. How you doing? Good to see you in the building one time. All right, let's fly through them. Let's go through this next one here. How many more I got for this game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more for this game. Let's start with Ryan Tannehill. We'll go 2 of these, okay? Ryan Tannehill over 1 passing touchdown versus the Bengals. Chat, how y'all feeling about this one? Is Ryan Tannehill going to have over 1 passing touchdown? And while we let y'all populate y'all answers here real quick, shout out to the homie, no Mets, no Nets, no Jets.
For the $4.99 super chat, says I complimented that track weeks ago. If I were a rapper, I would ask for that beat. I just want to listen to it on a sunny day.
I like that. That's what's up, man. Shout out no Mets, no Nets, no Jets, man. Y'all know what it is over here. I'm definitely a no Mets, no Nets, no Jets, no Yankees, no Knicks. I'm all New York Giants all day.
What did you do for Burrow 2 touchdowns?
Burrow 2 touchdowns. I'm going under. Thanks for getting me on this. You know, we're doing a lot over here.
I mean, I got the notes. You know, I gotta make sure. I got it like nice little chart.
Got
here.
you over there writing the essay. All right, so let's see what we got here. ENA, we got time. He's gotten over 1 time. Kai 001's got the push, along with Edward Squires, Mac the Giants fan, and Old Man Rob. They all got the push on this one, okay? John Kim's taking the over, along with Mike K, Stephen White, Waterfly, Marjorie, and no Mets, no Nets, no Jets, and Perry Mack. Shout out Perry Mack one time in the building. They all taking the over, along with Cole Mack holding us down on Twitch one time. We appreciate you, brother. Mike Gorga taking the push, and Sucha taking the under, along with Kareem Yee. Those seem to be the only 2 unders. Oh, along with E. Suds as well. They're all taking the under. So, Beard, what you got for this one? Ryan Tannehill over 1 passing touchdown versus the Bengals. What you got?
Push.
Push.
Yeah, 1 touchdown. He throws 1 touchdown. You know, maybe a little AJ Brown sort of big play touchdown. But I think they're gonna try and run the rock. Tannehill could possibly run for 1 too. You know.
That's very true. Tannehill had the most rushing touchdowns of any quarterback in the AFC this season. I think the only quarterback that had more rushing touchdowns than him was Jalen Hurts on the season. I'm going to go with Bells and Bluegrass on this one. I'm going with the over on this one. I think Ryan Tannehill's going to have to do at least 2 touchdowns on the day here. They'll be focused on Derrick Henry coming back off that injury. We'll see how it goes. Shout out to Jason Thomas. He says, win, lose, or tie, Raiders till I die, brother. That's exactly how I feel about them New York Giants, man. We appreciate you pulling up my G, man. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Anybody else add any late ones here? Hey, shout out Maria in the building. How you living, Maria? Hope all is well. All right, we'll move to this next one here. I got another Ryan Tannehill one here. We got Ryan Tannehill over 235 yards passing versus the Bengals. How y'all feeling about this one, chat? Y'all think Ryan Tannehill is going to make it over 235 yards passing? Let me see those O's in the chat if that's the case. If not, let's see if we can see these pushes or these unders one time. Mac, the Giants fan, right off the bat, along with Cole Mack holding us down on Twitter or on Twitch. I'm sorry about that. He takes the under as well. Jeff Charles is taking the under. Shout out to Jeff Charles in the building one time. We appreciate you pulling up. Along with E-Suds, Kareem Yee, and ENA, we got time. They all taking the under on this one. Jason Thomas says, love the shout out. Thank you for acknowledging your chat, brothers. You already know what it is, man. We couldn't do this without none of y'all here in the chat. We appreciate you pulling up, Jason. Bells is taking the push on this one. Stephen White and Waterfly got the over. Jason Thomas, he said much respect one time. Perry Mack's taking the under on this one. Kai says he's taking the under. 200 to 220 for your boy Ryan Tannehill. Jason Thomas does say he's taking the under on this one. Old Man Rob taking the under along with him. John Kim with the over. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets is taking the over. Mike Gorga and Mike K and Marjorie all taking the under. Jake SW Hunter's also taking the under. He says around 200-ish.
That's where I'm at. I think he's going to be right around that 225 mark. This is a good number, obviously, for an over-under at 235, but I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, man. I'm going to take the under on this one. I think he'll get the 2 touchdowns I talked about earlier, but not going to be a big day as far as passing yards go. Bluegrass with the last-minute submission takes the under. All right, so we're all in agreement there. We're taking the under. We got a couple more for the Titans, and then we can go to this next game. A.J. Brown, over 72 yards receiving versus the Bengals. Chat, how y'all feel about this one? Is A.J. Brown going to make it over 72 yards receiving versus the Bengals, or y'all going to be taking the under on this one? Let's see what y'all are talking while the Beard gets his thoughts together and, finishes his 5th chapter on his essay over there one time. Cole Mack still holding us down one time. He takes the under in this one. Mac, the Giants fan, takes the over on this one. Damn, them submissions they be like 10 at one time. Just boom, they all there at one time. Edward Squires, shout out Edward Squires one time. He's taking the over. Kai takes the over as well, along with John Kim, Kareem Yee, and Steve White, and E. Suds, and the heavyweight champion of the world. They all taking the over on this one. Craig, Marjorie Simmons takes the under. And old man Rob, he says salt and pepper, okay? Push it. Jeff Charles in the building says, Eli Apple is food. I like that, yo. Toast if you want to pick a certain kind of food. Mike K is taking the over, and Bluegrass is taking the under. Waterfly in the building taking that over. Perry Max taking the over. He says, we some smart Giants fans. What happened to this organization? A lot happened to this organization in the past 5 years, especially. I'll just start with Dave Gettleman. Who else we got? Flemdog says, killing these beats. I appreciate it, fam. All these beats are produced by me, man. I definitely appreciate that. He says, I'm getting inspired, man. That's what's up, man. Hope you're a fellow producer, man. Good to see you in the building. And Jake SW and Bells both take the over. A.J. Brown over 72 yards receiving. Beard, what you got on this one?
I'm going to take the under. He's going to be right around 70, but I'm going to take the under.
Really only take one big play for him to do this, I feel like. One big play, couple little catches here and there. I'm going to take the over. A.J. Brown, 72 yards receiving versus the Bengals. I'm going to take the over on this one. All right, a couple more for this Tennessee Titans and Cincinnati Bengals game. And actually just one more here. Julio Jones, over 45 yards receiving versus the Bengals. Chat, how y'all feeling about Julio Jones? Been a pretty let-down year for Julio Jones, man. Didn't see his way into the end zone a lot this year. Been banged up throughout the whole season. He'll be back in this game. We'll see if they'll be at full firepower, if he can get something done in this game. But we're asking here, Julio Jones over 45 yards receiving versus the Bengals. How y'all feeling about this one? Let's see. Mike K, right off the bat, he takes the over 45 yards for Julio Jones. Kai said, LOL, I'm taking that under one time. It's been a rough year for Julio Jones for sure. Mac, the Giants fan, taking the under. ENA, We Got Time is taking the over, along with E-Suds, Marjorie, and Edward Squires. Kareem Yee is taking the under one time. And Jeff Charles is taking the push on this one, along with Bells. Ooh, Waterfly is taking the over and a touchdown for your boy Julio Jones. And Mike Gorga is also taking the over, along with old man Rob. Anthony Bluegrass Picker, he's taking the under one time on this one. And Jake SW Hunter is taking the push on this one. He thinks Julio Jones will have exactly 45 yards on the day. Last but not least, we got no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. He's taking the under. And Cole Mack holding us down on Twitch. He's taking the over, but not by much. So he's got about a good 48 yards for Julio Jones on the day. The Beard, what you got on this one?
I'm going to take the over. I think he's right. I think he's Cole Mack. I'm feeling like that 48, 47 yards possible for him. So, yeah, I'm going to take the over.
I like that. Now, I went over for A.J. Brown. I was trying to think if I should go over this 45 as well. You know what? Screw it. I'm going over 45 yards receiving for Julio Jones against the Bengals one time. It is what it is. If we fall flat, we fall flat. Kai asked, what did the Titans give up for Julio Jones? It's a good question.
It was a second or a third round pick. Maybe
if it was a second,
pick.
that's a lot for a guy towards the end of his career for sure.
Yeah,
but
because I remember when it happened, everybody was like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? That's all it took to get Julio Jones." So it might have been like a third. I think it might have been a third-round pick for sure. Second-round pick. So I wasn't right. Second-round
pick. That's good. Stephen White takes the over on this one. And Edward Squires says he's pretty good in the playoffs when he gets there. Yeah, that's the sketchy part about that for sure. We'll take this super chat one time before we get to your answer.
Big shout out to John Kim for the $5 super chat. Says, "What's up, Awthentik and The Beard? Dealing with the Rona. It sucks. I know, because I had it a couple weeks back and it was a blower.
Yeah.
I'm taking all visitors to win except the Bengals this weekend. With Julio, I'm taking a push. Feel better, John Kim. It'll be over before you know it, hopefully. Just drink lots of water, man. Lots of water will get you through that, and just relax.
Stay hydrated, man. That Pedialyte, boy, that Pedialyte could definitely help you out, man. And you already know, everybody here in the chat and, myself and The Beard both definitely sending prayers your way, bro. Hope you can get through that, and come out of it healthy for sure, man. So, we'll give you a little bit of something to kill your time when you got the Rona in the crib. You could log in and deal with your boys over here at AATB one time. So, The Beard, what you thinking about this one, man? Are you taking the over? We took the over on that one, right?
Okay,
so we can let me make sure I didn't have one more for this game. I had the Tannehill joints, the Chase joints. That's all of them for this game. All right, so we're going to be doing about that many for each game. We got through that that was decent timing, not too bad. Not the 4.540 I would expect you to run, but it was pretty decent.
4.64.
Oh, 4.64. Every year it's just going up, man. The knees getting weaker. It's getting up higher. All right, so let's go into this next game one time, man. Next one on the docket, as my man The Beard would say, on the parlay. We got the 49ers heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers one time. Let me get this music queued up here for y'all. We will go here. All right. Green Bay Packers had a bye in the first round, for those that didn't know. The Green Bay Packers will begin their playoff journey at home against the San Francisco 49ers this Saturday in the NFC Divisional Round. And it's a game that does pose some difficult matchups for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 against the 49ers in the playoffs. And if the Packers can't stop Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell in the running game for the San Francisco 49ers, this game could look a lot like the 49ers game versus the Cowboys last week. We've talked about fast starts here on Awthentik and The Beard a ton, especially for the past couple of weeks, and the Packers will definitely benefit from putting up some points early in this game. Kickoff is Saturday night at 8:15 p.m. with the Packers favored by 5.5 points. The over-under is 47. Now, we did not get the over-under for the first game. You picked the Bengals outright, which so didn't have to get the over-under on that one, or you didn't have to get the favored by. But what was your the over-under in the Bengals game was 47.5. Are you taking it over in the Bengals game?
So I was under and you were over on our picks.
Under and over. Okay, that's what's up. All right, yeah, because we did get the scores. Look at you, man. Mathematician over there one time, man. I like that. This is why we do what we do, man. One hand wash the other, man. Y'all know what it is. All right, so 49ers, man, Packers. I think this is going to be a really, really, really interesting matchup, man. The 49ers dominated last week running the ball, man. You saw the statistics. Deebo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, both of them balled out. Mitchell had 96 yards on the ground. Deebo Samuel had 72 yards on the ground. Jimmy Garoppolo was 16 of 25 for 172 yards. I mean, that's not really that great. He hit the under in our last week's over-under segment. We had 225 for Jimmy Garoppolo. He hit the under. No touchdowns and one interception. I like the quarterback matchup in this one. I think this is a good game for Jimmy Garoppolo to try to prove himself and show that he belongs, man, like in that top 15 kind of bracket as far as quarterbacks go. Garoppolo has a 3-1 record as a starter in the playoffs. He completed 16 of 25 pass attempts last week, so 64%. That's what Jimmy Garoppolo does well, man. He's normally pretty accurate, takes care of the ball, and his completion percentage is normally high. He missed that big throw, man, to Brandon Ayuk on third down to seal the game. You don't want to see that from Jimmy Garoppolo again. Let's keep it funky, because in the Super Bowl, the overthrow, we don't want to see those kind of things from Jimmy Garoppolo. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand here, he's in his 17th season as the Packers quarterback. Rodgers led the NFL in passer rating for the second consecutive season at 111.9. He's got 11 career playoff wins. With one more playoff win, he will tie Brett Favre for the most playoff wins in Packers franchise history at 12. Talked about Elijah Mitchell a little bit. He had the 96 yards on the ground in the win against the Dallas Cowboys. That's the most ever by a Niners rookie running back in a playoff game. And I think for the San Francisco 49ers, man, the big thing here is going to be for you got to stop Davante Adams. How are you going to stop Davante Adams? He set franchise records in 2 categories this season. In receptions, he had 123 on the year, which is just ridiculous. And in receiving yards, if you didn't have Cooper Kupp to be talking about with the Triple Crown, Davante Adams would be clearly the #1 wide receiver in the NFL right now. Can't forget a little bit about defense here, too. Rasul Douglas, one of 3 players this season to record at least 2 interceptions returned for a touchdown, and I think the Packers could totally benefit from some points coming from their defense. We already know what it is with the Packers. They cannot get down early in this game like the Dallas Cowboys did last week. Can't be settling for field goals, and that goes for the 49ers as well, who, Robbie Gould is having a fantastic year. I normally don't bring much light to the special teams department, but I had to do this. Robbie Gould is now 18 for 18 in the playoffs as a field goal kicker. So, we know that the San Francisco 49ers, they don't want to settle for field goals in this game, but if you got to, Robbie Gould is pretty much as automatic as it gets. And as far as the coaches go in this game, you got Matt LaFleur, who he went 13-4 in his 3rd season as the Packers coach and is now 39-10 in his career. That's a fantastic record for a young coach. His 39 wins are the most in NFL history for a head coach in his first 3 seasons. So that's going well. Moving on from Mike McCarthy seemed to be the right move for the Green Bay Packers. And LaFleur has led the Packers to the NFC Championship game in each of the past 2 seasons. So he's doing well. He just needs that Super Bowl win, I feel like, to be able to put him over the hump as one of these premier coaches, kind of like a Kyle Shanahan, who, he doesn't have the Super Bowl yet, but he got there. And kind of like McVay. Maybe he could get there a little bit earlier if he gets this Super Bowl win. But how you looking at this game? Before I get my score prediction, I kind of want to see what kind of nuggets you laying out on the plate here, so then I can kind of steal some nuggets and then maybe steal a score.
Just as long as you leave me with some sweet and sour sauce,
a little bit.
You know okay, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was telling Mad Dog about Mambo sauce on his stream the other day. He was like, "What's Mambo sauce?" I was like, take some ketchup, take some sweet and sour, take some barbecue, mix it all in one little batch, make it a little watery, and there you go. You got some Mambo
little
sauce.
Vinegar in there too. They all got a little vinegar, you know what I'm saying?
Vinegar.
But yeah, look, it's that time of the year, okay, where everybody likes to bring up the fact that Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, and Sean McVay, who are all 3 head coaches now, and all 3 are in the playoffs. We're all 3 coaches on the Washington football team.
Shout out the Washington football team, bro.
So thank you guys to everybody who has sent me a text message, a DM, Instagram post. You guys saw it on SportsCenter. I got it. Thanks. Appreciate it. Look, this game is really going to be interesting. San Francisco, I think, is that team, and we talked about this leading into the playoffs. They're that team that can give people trouble because they can run the ball, because they have some defensive studs. And one thing I think that you brought up is, Davante Adams. Davante Adams is that guy. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who you put on him. I think Davante Adams has the ability to, score, get yards, get catches.
For sure.
It doesn't matter who's guarding him. But San Francisco's got a guy, okay? This guy, his name is Emmanuel Mosley.
Ooh, this is going to be a nugget. I could feel it.
You know how many touchdowns he's allowed this season?
0.
0 touchdowns.
I know you so well that when you set up the alley-oop, I just come in with the slam dunk. Yeah. No problem.
So that's who they're probably going to be putting on Davante Adams. So he's going to have his work cut out for him, obviously. But, I mean, it's good to have a guy like that, like just going into a matchup like this where you're going against 1A, 1B wide receiver in the National Football League, to know that you're going to have a guy that is, hasn't allowed a touchdown all season. And this is a guy that plays on a team that plays in the NFC West. So, he's going against top-tier wide receiver competition all year long. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? So he's well prepared for this situation to take on Davante Adams. Now, Joey Bosa, I see ENA, we got time, asking if he's going to be back from concussion protocol. As of right now, last thing that
he was a full participant in practice, actually. I saw that today. They released that just a couple hours ago. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, you need him on the field if you're trying to win this game. That's definitely facts. They're going to have to find a way to try to get to the quarterback. And Bosa kind of reminds me of Watt, man, in Pittsburgh, man. Like one of those guys that can make one of those game-changing plays like we thought Watt made last week, and then it was murder she wrote when Patrick Mahomes and them got back on the field. They were like, okay, we got 21 for you. Here you go.
Yeah, so definitely very important for the San Francisco 49ers to have Bosa on the field making plays. Obviously, all eyes are going to be on Fred Warner as well, who got banged up last week with the ankle thing, and Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so we talked about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had 13 touchdowns since week 14, so that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's five games. In Aaron Rodgers' last 7 games, he's got 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
I mean, the man is on fire. That's a bad man, as Stephen A. Smith would say. That's a bad man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is doing damage this season.
It's pretty crazy. Now, the Green Bay is going to have a nice – that bye week was huge for them. They got Bakhtiari back, and he played a little bit in week 18. To kind of get that rust off. So to have Bakhtiari back is going to be huge going against the San Francisco defense. I love it when I can say a good last name without butchering it, and I got Bakhtiari down, man. It's the way I could say Bakhtiari, man. It's like –
Yo, sometimes in my notes I write the name like it's pronounced. I'm just like, nah, that spelling going to throw me off when I read that. Like, ain't no way. And we're dealing with that with Joe Shane. The way he spells his name is just ridiculous. Everybody was like, Joe Showen or whatever, and it's like, yo, how are we supposed to know that that's how you pronounce that?
And obviously, Green Bay's run defense is going to be put to the test here because San Francisco is going to want to run the ball. Whether it's Deebo Samuel, whether it's Elijah Mitchell, they're going to try and find ways to run the ball. And Green Bay's defense is giving up 4.7 yards per carry. That's 29th in the league. And they're also giving up 109.1 yards per game. So they're definitely, they have the ability to attack a defense like Green Bay when it comes to the run game. So we're definitely going to see San Francisco running the ball a lot in this game and try to take advantage of that Green Bay run defense, which is going to be super important. And obviously, San Francisco can get to the quarterback. Now, Aaron Rodgers, I think, is sacked usually an average of 2 times a game. So having
Hold it down for a second. I'm going to reset my camera.
Okay. Having Bakhtiari back is definitely going to be a huge help for San Francisco, obviously. now Kevin says I mispronounced authentic. But, yeah, San Francisco had 0 sacks allowed against Dallas, which was important for, San Francisco to keep Jimmy G clean. But Green Bay is going to have some defensive players back now, too. A couple of guys who have been out for a long time. Some guys who haven't played since week 1. So they're going to have more bodies now, too, which is going to be super important. As much as I love San Francisco, and I love San Francisco to make this a game, I just think Jimmy G is going to make a mistake at some point. And then I also think that Green Bay is just going to prove to be too much for San Francisco in this matchup, as Awthentic is a little frozen. So we will definitely get him back shortly. So that's the situation for me. I am going to take the Green Bay Packers to win this game by a final score of 24-17. And while we wait for Awthentic to get tapped back in and make his pick, everybody in the chat, let me know who you guys are picking. Give me a score for the 49ers and Packers game. The official Beard score for the game is 24-17 Green Bay Packers over the San Francisco 49ers. So make sure you guys let us know in the chat who you guys are picking.
What was the score you picked right there?
I picked Green Bay 24, San Francisco 17.
I kind of like that score. I don't think it's going to be as close. Yeah, I like where Mac the Giants fans kind of going with that. That 38-17 for the Pack. ENA, we got time. I like that too. That 33-21, 31. I'm going with Old Man Rob's pick right here. I like this one, the 31-20. I think that's sufficient. You'll get maybe 2 touchdowns out of the 49ers with 2 field goals. I like that. So I'm going to go with Old Man Rob's pick right there. I'm going with that 31-20 for the Packers for sure.
It's funny because both our scores – oh, no, never mind. I got 41. You got 51 total points. What was the over-under in this name again?
The over-under is 47.
47? Yeah, so I'm taking the under, taking the over.
Let's get it, man. Packers, man.
Big shout out to
the Packers got to come out here and show up, man.
Yeah, big shout out to Jeremiah Butler for the $1.99 super chat. Says, "Yo, bicep, no numerical score, but got Green Bay."
I like it. Jeremiah Butler has been trolling around the Giants community a lot, talking about we got to bring back Gettleman. Shout out Jeremiah one time, man. Appreciate you pulling up.
He was in here a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, you remember that? I saw, who was it? I think it was Stan. Oh, he was kind of trolling you a little bit on this one, too. This one's kind of funny.
Yeah, I got that. Thanks, Stan. Appreciate it, bud.
Thanks, Stan. Thanks. You know when you get tagged in something on Twitter and somebody's like, check this out. You're like, bro, I don't want to see those stats, man. Don't tag me in that. Stan's normally the opposite, man. He lends me a bunch of gems, man, in my DMs all the time, man. I definitely appreciate that, fam. All right, so let's get to this over-under section real quick. Bell said, Authentic got Joe Judge on the camera work. Facts. You know what it is I'm in my recording studio right now, right? And I have a beast of a computer. I got the Mac Pro, right? But there's like 400 USB things plugged into this computer, and StreamYard just don't like that. Randomly, every now and again, it's just like, nah, bro, get up out of here. We're freezing you. So if I knock out again, don't be too surprised. Let's get to these over-unders, though, one time. Here we got a good chunk to go over in this game as well. I'm going to fly through these. Let's see. They start right here.
Kai was the only person I saw who picked San Francisco. 28-24
the only one.
49ers. Yeah,
I've noticed a lot of people like on major, national television networks and whatnot picking the San Francisco 49ers. They just think that the Packers aren't going to be able to stop the running game. They think it'll be kind of like that matchup with the Packers and the 49ers, the most recent one where Raheem Mostert just kind of dogged them and ran all over them. Oh, Cole Mack got the 49ers as well. All right, so let's see. Let me come back here one time. Man, my computer doing the most right now.
Switching over to the over-under page.
The over-under book. All right, here we go. Aaron Rodgers over 285 yards passing versus the 49ers. Chat, what y'all got on this one? Y'all taking the over or the under on Aaron Rodgers going over 285 yards passing?
That's a good one right there.
All right, Mac, the Giants fan, in first. He's taking the over 285 yards passing for Aaron Rodgers on the day, along with Edward Squires, Flem Dog, Jeremiah. Any more overs? Okay, we got John Kim over here taking the push one time. E. Suds takes the under, says it'll be around 270. Kareem Yee is taking the push one time. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets says big over on this one. Old man Rob takes the over along with Mike Gorga one time in the building. Jeremiah and Stephen White take the under. Mike K takes the under. Marjorie's taking the over one time. Rachel says 317 on the nose. Okay, so we taking the over one time. Kai 001 is taking the under in this one. Jake wants to submit his score real quick. He says 28-24 to Pack. Bell says 310 yards for Aaron Rodgers on the day. Beard, what you got?
I'm going to go under. Just barely. I think he's going to sit around 275, 280.
275, 280. So you taking the under in this one. Threeality one time in the building. I like that name. That's real fire right there. Threeality, I was actually chopping it up with Threeality on Instagram, and Threeality's an artist, yo. So definitely check him out, man. He's got some tunes out there. I still haven't had a chance to check out the music yet, but I'm gonna definitely do that soon. Appreciate you pulling up, man. He was one of the people that was in the Bad Dog chat and became a subscriber after that stream. So we appreciate you pulling up, bro. Kevin the PRF says 322 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jake S.W. Hunter's taking the push. So the Beard takes the under. I'm going with the over. Let me tell you why. There's been a lot of talk about these young boy quarterbacks in the AFC, okay? Got your boy Mahomes over there. You got your boy Josh Allen putting up these crazy record-breaking numbers, okay, in the first round.
About Joe Burrow.
5 touchdowns. Joe Burrow as well. He didn't put up those kind of numbers in the first round. I think Aaron Rodgers is sitting back like, bro, y'all forgot about the OG? I'm going to put up some big numbers in my first playoff game in 2021. I'm going over to 285 yards. I'm going to give you 40 yards on top of it to spare, too. I think he's going to go over 325 on the day.
He's going to come out to Roy Jones Jr., huh?
Y'all must have forgot. Roy Jones Jr., shout out to Roy Jones. Cameo in The Matrix. Saw it the other day. Reloaded. I was like, that's my man Roy Roy Jones. I forgot all about my man Roy Jones. All right, we got Davante Adams over 100 receiving yards versus the 49ers. Chat, what y'all got on this over-under right here for Davante Adams reaching 100 yards receiving? Okay, I'm checking them out. Here we go. Kind of want to read this paragraph, my man Stan Albert and 3Ality just dropped on me one time. All right, so check this out. Can't be touched, can't be stopped, my man Esud says. John Kim is taking the over along with ENA We Got Time, Edward Squires, Mac the Giants fan, and Kareem Yee, and the homie Jeremiah Butler one time, and Esuds. We got big overs. Good God. Waterfly, the only one taking the under in that little batch of people right there one time, along with No Mets, No Nets, No Jets, who's also taking the under. Stephen White and Rachel. Stephen White's taking the under, but Rachel is taking the over one time. Bell says Rodgers wins Super Bowl, then leave they as for a white girl.
Leave they ass for a white girl.
You know how you read something and it like click in your mind? I'm like, wait, leave they ass for a white girl. Oh, yo, that's crazy. Mike Gorga says, crazy. Aaron. Stephen White says, no, over. Bluegrass takes the over. Ham sandwich in the building one time. Shout out to the ham sandwich in the building. He takes the over one time.
Ham. Where's the cheese at?
Back holding us down one time on Twitch says he's taking the over around 110. Jake S.W. Hunter also takes the over along with Perry Mack. Says A-Rod's on a mission. Old man Rob still doubling up on them emojis one time. He's taking the over. Bells is also taking the over. Kai 001 taking the over. Mike Gorga taking the push. Kevin the PRF says over 108 yards. Definitely over from CJ Talks Movie. Shout out CJ. What's poppin', fam? Hope all is well. Let me see. Mike K's taking the over. Stan Albert's taking the under because of his last comment in regards to Rodgers. He'll have around 83 yards. Okay, he's taking the under one time. And let me see. Hold up. So Rachel, like
Rozelle.
Oh, Rozelle. Like Rozelle the beatboxer. Shout out to Rozelle one time, man. Rozelle was a GOAT with that beatboxing thing, man. It maybe a little Dougie Fresh vibes, maybe, but Rozelle was like he was next level with Dougie Fresh for a minute there. Okay, so that's good to know because I've been saying Rachel for like 5-10 episodes here at least, yo. Rozelle. I got to remember that. That I is tricky, man. That I is super tricky. All right, so Waterfly says he's betting the U on DraftKings right now. Kevin the PRF says, I am now hoping 2-2-22 is the Washington White Girls. Oh, my God. Yo, them uniforms, man, that they leaked, them uniforms look fly. I'm definitely a fan of them uniforms. 3Ality says, I think I'll have double-digit catches. Not sure about the 100 yards, though. Facts on that. Beard, what you got on this one, man? Davante Adams over 100 yards receiving.
I gotta go over.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm taking
the
over
have
on this
like
one as well.
$150, but I think he'll get enough to get over 100 yards. Because if they get to a situation where they need something, they're gonna go to Davante Adams. Facts. So I think of just sheer volume, I like Davante Adams. Possibilities over 100 yards.
I like it. All right, let's get to this next one real quick. Give y'all a good 30 seconds on this one. I'm already letting you know right now it's going to be about Aaron Jones while I get this beat queued up one time. All right. Aaron Jones over 55 yards rushing versus the 49ers. I was thinking, do I do one for A.J. Dillon? Do I do one for Aaron Jones? I'm not too sure. You know, both of them been getting carries this year. Chat, let me know how y'all feeling about Aaron Jones going over 55 yards.
Osama bin Swag.
That's a bar. That's a name right there. Osama bin Swaggin. Shout out to Osama bin Swaggin in the building one time. He takes the over. E-Suds with the under along with Edward Squires. Mac the Giants fan, Mike K, Old Man Rob, John Kim all taking the over along with Marjorie Simmons as well. ENA We Got Time says taking a push on this one. Waterfly says 55 and a touchdown, so he's taking a push and a touchdown. Stephen White taking the over along with Jeremiah Butler. And Mike K says, take that back. I'm taking the under one time. E-Sud says Dylan's going to be that dude, so he's taking the under on this one. Ronald Patterson in the building one time. What's going on, fam? He says he's taking the O. Rozelle, the great, is taking the O. He goes for 75 and 2 touchdowns. Wow, Bells is taking the over along with Kareem Yee and Cole Mack holding us down on Twitch one time, taking that over as well. Kevin, the PRF, is taking the over, but not a hundo, he says, like 82 yards. Kai says over, got to take that. And Jake, the SW Hunter, takes the over as well. Over 55 yards for Aaron Jones. Stan Albert, Stan been giving me big paragraphs with these answers too. He's taking the over. They got to be physical to beat San Francisco whenever they try to play finesse with San Fran in the past. With passing the ball, they always lose, predicting a big game from both Packers running backs. I like that one time. And that's the last vote. So, The Beard, what you got on this one? Are you taking the over for Aaron Jones?
I'm going to go over 55 like the 56 we got in the chat right now.
Hey, dropping them bars right now, man. I see you and Osama been swagging in the building one time. CJ also takes the over. He says easily pushing 100. I'm going to take the over for Aaron Jones as well. I don't think it'll be quite 100 yards, but I think it'll get somewhere around 60, in between 60 and 70 yards on the day. All right, let's go with Aaron Rodgers again one more time on this one. Aaron Rodgers over 3 touchdowns versus the 49ers. This one, you think it might be easy. This ain't easy. Aaron Rodgers over 3 touchdowns versus the 49ers. Chat, how y'all feeling about this one? Jake, the SW Hunter, says Rodgers going to need help. That's for sure. Let's see here. Ham Sandwich taking the under one time, along with John Kim. We got some awesome names in the chat today. We got Ham Sandwich and we got Osama bin Swaggin. Bars, yo, straight up bars. Jeremiah Butler's taking the under. Edward Squires takes the push. I like that pick already. 3 homies, 1 bed. Shout out 3 homies, 1 bed one time in the building, man. We appreciate you pulling up, man. Welcome to the fam. He says under. This channel is lit. Love the interaction with the chat, man. We appreciate you pulling up, my G. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, man. We've been doing this pretty much throughout the whole entire playoffs, and we will be doing this until the playoffs are over, all the way to the Super Bowl, man. Appreciate you pulling up. You know what it is. 3 homies, 1 bed in the building. Old man Rob taking the push along with ENA. We got time. E. Sudge, Rozelle, the great, and Kareem Yee. They all taking the push. Kevin already called the push. CJ's taking the under. Mac, the Giants fan, takes the push along with Stephen White. A under from Waterfly. A under from Cole Mack on Twitch. Reality takes the push. CJ Talks Movie says he'll get 2 tubs. He's taking the under on this one. 5-string Fling takes the push. Perry Mack takes the over. It's lit right now on Authentic and the Beard. Stan says he didn't give me a paragraph, but he gave me a long sentence this time. You, based off my last couple of comments about the Packers having to be physical. Ronald Patterson takes the under one time, and Jake takes the push along with Kai 001. Bells is taking the under, says it'll be 2 touchdowns. And Issa says, hit that like button. Y'all know what it is. Bluegrass in the building taking that push. The Beard, what you got on this one?
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under, man. I'm going to go under. I'd like him to throw 2 maybe, but I think it's going to be a little A.J. Dillon with a 2-touchdown game, man. Listen, if y'all been watching Authentic and the Beard, I was talking about A.J. Dillon last year.
Oh, yeah.
He's early. He's a guy that's built for playoff football. Because he a little bit of a
yeah, a little bit of a little.
He give that Mike Allstott sound effects.
I want to give you a little bit of what's my man from the Tennessee Titans back in the day was my guy Eddie George.
Eddie George.
You know what I'm saying? Them kind of vibes one time. Shout out no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. Y'all know what it is.
For the $1.99 super chat says thumbs up, like, sub, and hit that bell, please, and thanks.
Make sure you hit that bell. That's very important. If you're digging it, you will miss a stream if you don't hit that bell. I missed the New York Revival stream with Hefe and Eli Rax and Spiros the other day simply because I didn't hit that bell, man. So hit that bell if you dig in the content. The Beard, you taking the under on this one.
I got a feeling you're going with a push.
I'm thinking about it, but I like I said, man, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to turn up. Like, turn up. Got to show these young boys who the GOAT is. I'm going Aaron Rodgers with the over in this one, surprisingly. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers for the over. I'm giving you a couple of windows here for you to
So wait. Oh, yeah, that works.
You was checking my score, right?
I was checking your score, yeah.
Oh, that works. That kind of works right there. I like that. All right, now let's get to some of the San Francisco 49ers one time. We got Deebo Samuel over 110 yards from scrimmage versus the Packers. How y'all feeling about this one? Is Deebo going to make it over 110 yards from scrimmage versus the Packers, or are you taking the under? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to get your answers in and submitted, and then we'll go to the Beard and see what he's got on this one. CJ says he is Brandon Jacobs. I like that. I missed it, but it was this one right here. He says he is Brandon Jacobs. That's what's up. Gotta love Brandon Jacobs.
All purpose, yes. All purpose yards.
Yes, all purpose. Yep. All right, so we got some submissions in already. Mac, the Giants fan, is taking the push, 110. Jeremiah taking the push along with him right at 110. Flem Dog in the building. Shout out Flem Dog. He's taking the over along with Waterfly as well. ENA We Got Time is taking the under on this one. And let's see. Stan Albert is taking the push. He says he'll get that exact yardage one time along with John Kim and CJ Talks Movies. All three of them got a push for the 110 yards. Shout out to the homie Kai 001 one time.
With a $9.99 super chat, says Authentic and The Beard are the hidden gems of YouTube. No kizzy.
Hey, I appreciate that, fam. I kind of want to keep it that way, too. You know, I like, this small, tight-knit unit community we've built here over at Authentic and The Beard, man. It's all family. I ain't got to worry about no crazy trolls, no crazy bots. It ain't nothing but good people in the chat, man. So we appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. Appreciate your presence, Kai, most importantly, and we appreciate supporting the channel with the $9.99 super chat. And for those of y'all that don't know, The Beard and them $9.99s, he just gave you a little taste of the $9.99 one time. Stephen White at Bells and Edward Squires all take the under along with Kareem Yee. Rozelle the Great takes the over. Jake's taking a push on this one. E. Suds. Love Deebo, but I'm taking the under. Kevin the PRF is taking the over. He's getting that last 50 in. Say it loud, Authentic. Garbage time for your boys. Y'all know what it is, man. Getting it in that garbage time when they're going to be getting mopped by the Green Bay Packers one time. Old man Rob takes the over. CJ is going to go with the push. Deebo with the big O from my man Kai one time. We appreciate that, yo. Dollar Beer, man. Shout out Dollar Beer in the building one time, man.
I was laughing at because I saw that number, that name came up. I'm like, man, we could listen. You got a good meal going on right now. You got ham sandwich with a dollar beer, and shout out to Osama bin Laden.
Facts. Dollar beer with the ham sandwich, man. We turning up. That sound like morning drinking right there, dog. That sound like tailgating before a 1 o'clock game for sure. Kai's taking the O one time. Perry Mack says stopping Deebo has to be the game plan. That's exactly what I said for the Dallas Cowboys, and they didn't do that. Cole Mack, holding us down on Twitch, is taking the over. Got a lot of submissions here. Kai's taking that over as well. Reality says he's hoping for the over. And I think we got feeling like it's a Kittle and running back running game kind of day. All eyes on Deebo. That might be the case. The Beard, what you got on this one?
I got to go over. The dude has, it's not like he's been a fluke. Like, I know the rushing thing has kind of been as of late, but like, there's nobody in the National Football League that averages more yards per catch than Deebo Samuel. He has the highest average yards per catch, and so we're not even talking about what he can do on the ground. Last week, he was averaging 7 yards a carry on the ground while having the highest yards per catch. I mean, I got to go over 110 total yards.
He's like Cordero Patterson's son, the better version.
Yeah.
It's like, he was like the Archie Manning, and then he had his kids, and that's what Deebo Samuel is to Cordero Patterson, straight up, because he can do it all. He's a number one running back and a number one wide receiver when it comes to the playoffs here. This is kind of crazy. Mike Gorga is going to go with the over on this one as well. Did I give you an answer on this?
You did not.
Deebo over 110. I'm going over. Deebo's been ridiculous. I'm going over.
Let me tell you, Authentic loves him some SpaghettiOs.
Yes, this is facts. This is big facts. Big facts. All right, so we got a couple. There was a couple in this game from the 49ers. All right, we got to fly through these. I'm giving y'all 20 seconds now in the chat, all right? So we're going to go Elijah Mitchell over 16 rush attempts versus the Packers. How y'all feeling about this one, chat? Is Elijah Mitchell going to be the main staple in the running game for the San Francisco 49ers and get over 16 attempts? How y'all feeling? You got 20 seconds here. Lax going with the over right off the bat. Shout out to my homie Lax 044 in the building, along with Bluegrass Picker. Stan is going with the under. Lax used to eat SpaghettiOs straight out the can back in the day. Gangster.
My nephew said that today. He was eating them out the can, and he was like, I'm eating them military style, ma.
Oh, yeah, I used to do that too, man. That's a vibe right there. The entertainer talking drugs in the building says, stand up. Shout out to you one time. Appreciate you pulling up, man. We got a bunch of unders. Jeremiah, Edward Squires, John Kim, E. Suds. Waterfly said, damn, I'm way behind. I'm rebooting right now. Reboot, man. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Bluegrass Picker with the under. Stephen White with the under. Rozelle with the under. Old man Rob with the under. Kevin the PRF with the under. Cole Mack holding us down on Twitch takes the over along with Mike Gorga. Perry Mack says, ain't going to be no time to run the ball when you're playing from behind. That's big facts right there. Bells comes in with the push coming in hot. And ENA, we got time and Flem Dog both follow up with the push. The Beard, what you got for Elijah Mitchell over 16 rush attempts?
I'm going to go over 16.
The man did have 27 carries last game.
Listen, he's gone over 20 carries in 6 straight games.
No brainer for the Beard. He's going over. I'm taking the over in this one, too. I think Elijah Mitchell's going to be the main running back. Debo Samuel will be that other guy that gets a couple carries. He had 10 carries last week. Together, they had 37 carries on the day. Mitchell with the most of them. So, yeah, I'm going to go with you on this one. I'm going to take the over in this one as well.
It's interesting, though, because it sounds like a no-brainer, but if you think Green Bay jumps out, to an early dominant lead, that number could really dwindle as far as rush attempts go for him.
Yep.
So it's definitely a possibility to go under for sure.
49ers are the kind of team that, it would have to get out of hand after halftime for them to abandon the run. I feel like first half, you're going to get a lot of runs. He might get that 16 in the first half for him.
Yeah.
All right, got a couple more for the 49ers here. Jimmy G. Over 1 interception versus the Packers. How y'all feeling about this one? Give y'all a good 20 seconds to get your wits together one time and see how y'all feeling about Jimmy G going over 1 interception versus the Packers. ENA, we got times taking over. That means he's going to get 2.
Yeah, Kevin says 100, I'm considering the blowout. Yeah, it's definitely something you'll have to take into consideration.
Marjorie says over the 1 interception for sure. Stephen White over. Kevin the PRF also says over. Waterfly and no Mets, no Nets, no Jets both take the push along with Edward Squires. Other Side of Sports. Shout out the Other Side of Sports one time in the building. They're taking the over as well. Bluegrass is taking a push on this one. NPZ PRD says Niners versus Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I like that. So I take it he's going to be taking the under in this one because Jimmy G got to play a clean game to get out of this one. Jeremiah says he's taking the push on this one. The game will be over if he goes over. That's facts right there. And we got a bunch of pushes in a row from Bells, Lax, Kai, Jake, and NPZ PRD. Shout out to NPZ PRD in the building. New face. Welcome to the fam. CJ's taking the over along with Mike Gorga. Reality says we just got mobile betting here in NY and it's doing me amazing. How long have you guys had it? How long have we had how long have we had the betting out here in DC?
So it's not, we don't have full mobile betting in DC. So you can bet on certain sports books apps if you're like around the Wizards and Capitals arena. And if you're around Nat Stadium, I believe you can use the MGM app. But FanDuel, you can't use FanDuel or DraftKings in D.C. yet. It's supposed to be coming soon. Maryland just opened up their sports books at the Maryland casinos, but they have no mobile betting as of now. Virginia is the only place where you can have unlimited mobile betting. So,
hey, and Kai over here in the chat dropping them gems. Got to use that.
Got to use that VPN. Yeah,
that's big facts right there. All right, so Beard, what you got on this one, man? Jimmy Garoppolo
Push.
over 1 interception. You going with the push?
Push.
Just
yeah,
one?
I think he definitely throws one. But
he normally
throw
plays
2
pretty
picks.
clean.
Yeah. I think that they're going to do their best to keep him out of having to throw and put him in a situation to throw 2 picks. If he does, though, it might be like maybe he gets that 1 pick in the like at some point in the game, and then like that trying to force something to get back into the game in the end of the fourth quarter sort of situation maybe, but we'll see.
I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this one.
Zero picks.
Yeah, I think he's going to get 0 interceptions. This is a big game, man. You got to come out here and play your best football. I unfortunately don't think it'll be enough for him, but I don't think he'll throw an interception in this game. Last week's interception was kind of just a bit of a fluke, man. He just like launched the ball, pulled his best Taylor Heineke impersonation, and just kind of overthrew it, and that really got the Cowboys back in the game. Outside of that, he played a pretty clean game. Didn't get in the end zone as far as any passing touchdowns, but I'm gonna take the under on this one. All right, let's see here. We got
interceptions and Trey Lance gets in, huh? Yeah.
Whoo, word. Okay, so I'm gonna go, and this will be the last one for this game. Jimmy Garoppolo over 225 yards passing versus the Packers. We had this one last week as well, and he went under the 225 versus the Cowboys. Jimmy Garoppolo over 225 yards passing. Chat, what y'all thinking about this one time? Cole Max going with the under 225 yards passing from Jimmy Garoppolo on the day. John Kim's going to go with the over. Waterfly's going with that over as well. We kind of split the room on this one here. NPZ PRD is taking the under along with Kevin the PRF and Mac the Giants fan. Stan Albert is taking the push on this one. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets, says Bells. JB Smoove is my favorite comedian right now. That's interesting. JB Smoove been grinding for a long time. He's hilarious, man. And definitely getting like his shot now, I feel like. He's got some big commercials out there he's been doing.
Caesars.
I forget. It's the Caesars joints that he's doing. Those are really good. He's like the
he got a new joint with Halle Berry where they in a limo for the Caesars.
Right.
Caesars
I'm trying to
war.
think of what's the progressive lady's name? What's that white lady's name on the progressive commercials,
Karen?
man? Karen?
Janet? Janice?
Ooh, I can't remember it. But he's kind of getting that role, like that feature role, with them, which is really good for him. Definitely digging JB Smoove. But Mac the Giants fan takes the under on this one. Kai says major under. Flo, that's her name, Flo. Good job, man. Appreciate you keeping an eye on the chat one time. Marjorie says under. Jeremiah says push or the under. Edward Squires takes the under. E. Suds and Alex Hobson. Shout out to Alex one time in the building, taking the over. Other Side of Sports is also taking the over along with Stephen White. Kareem Yee with the under along with 3ality and No Mets, No Nets, No Jets and Perry Mack and NPZ PRD one time, who I thought already voted, but I might be lunching, might be smacked over here. CJ Talks Movies takes way under. Old Man Rob taking that under. Rozelle the Great under. Ronald under. Minus yards matter face, says Chef Oz. What's going on, Chef Oz? How you living over there, fam? Mike Gorga takes the under. Bells takes the push one time. What else we got? Flow. We got big flows. Flow. Yeah, that's what's up. All right, Beard, how you feeling about Jimmy Garoppolo going over 225 yards passing?
I got burned by this last week, but I just think that they're going to have to end up pushing the rock at the end of the game, so I'm going to take the over.
Okay, NPZ, PRD, and y'all know how we do over here at Awthentik and The Beard, man. We like to have fun, keep the show real loose. He wanted to throw in a little over-under of his own. Mixing over 2 touchdowns this week. What you thinking, Beard? No way. Over 2? Definitely not. I might take the push on that, but definitely not over 2. Oh, that's looking good. I got something on eBay that's just got some bids on it. Shout out to eBay one time. All right, so you taking what you going to take on this?
Coming up. I'm taking the over.
You taking the over 225?
Beard, I'm going to need a packing label.
You already know. Hey, bro, I'm going to need you to ship this out for me, cuz. I'm going to go ahead and take the under. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, has kind of shown what he's going to do last week. That was a good game he had against the Dallas Cowboys, but still managed to go under the 225. I think he'll have a repeat performance. I'm going to take the under on this one as well. Ooh, I had one more for this game. We might as well go ahead and do it. George Kittle over 50 yards receiving versus the Packers. How y'all feeling about this one, chat? How y'all feeling about George Kittle going over 50 yards on the day?
They're going to have to find a way to get him involved, man. Right?
Right? It came to me for some advice. Right? NPZ PRD's taking the under 50 yards for George Kittle. Bluegrass is taking the over along with no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. And Jeremiah and Edward Squires and Cole Mack holding us down on Twitch one time. And the man Kevin the PRF. We got an under from Alex Hobson one time in the building along with Stephen White, Mac the Giants fan. Old man Rob's taking the push on this one. Marjorie's taking the over. E-Suds looks like he's got to bust a move one time. He says, I'll catch the rest in a few. Shout out to Awthentik and The Beard. Like you say, the Bears. I like that. Hit that like and sub up if you're new. Salute. We appreciate you pulling up, E-Suds. You already know what it is. One of the day ones. Always holding us down. Definitely appreciate you pulling up today, man. Kai's taking the under one time. Kareem Yee taking the push. Bells. By the way, no Doug Peterson, please. I'm right there with you on that one. Perry Mack's taking the under. Rozelle the Great is taking the over. Mike Gorga, push. Bells, over. And Cole Mack is saying that Kittle has to be involved. I'd be shocked if he isn't. Mr. Mini Guy in the building. What's popping with you, Mr. Mini Guy?
Yo!
Just doing our over-unders here. And Jake lastly says he'll go over about 60-ish yards on the day. How you feeling, the Beard, on this one?
I'm going to go over, man. They got to find a way. You got to find a way to Kittle.
Jeremiah
Can't
Butler
do.
said, bring Judge back.
I can't do no George Little. I need a George Kittle.
I feel you on that. Yeah, I'm going 50. I'm going to go over. Got to play these odds right. I'm going to go over for George Kittle with them 50 yards. And I had one more. I keep it funky with you. I had one more.
You did. I mean, you told me you had 40.
I had 40. There's a bunch, man, and they're easy to make. Deebo Samuel over 55 receiving yards versus the Packers. Beard, how you feeling about this one, man? Let's just make this one real quick. I'll get the chat late on this one.
I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I'm taking the over in this one, too. All right.
Well, first page is completed.
Killing them. Got two teams done or two games done on one page. I like that, man. Resourceful. Very good. We got a lot of overs for Deebo Samuel. Overs from everybody. Yeah. Not one under yet. Oh, we got an under from Alex. Alex Hobson's got an under. But we got overs from Kevin, Mac, MPZ, Kai, Kareem, Stephen White, Cole Mack holding us down on Twitter, Marjorie. Shout out to Michelle in the building one time, looking like a new face. Appreciate you pulling up. She got Deebo over easily. I can't really see the profile pic great. Could be Michael or Michelle. I'm not too sure. But salute to you for pulling up on Awthentik and the Beard. Welcome to the fam. Old man Rob also had the over along with John Kim, Edward Squires, Perry Mack with the over, and CJ, Mr. Mini Guy, Jake, and Bells all got the over. All right, that's what's up, man. So we got through two games with the over-unders. Beard, you ain't got no chance. I'm going to just keep it real with you, bro. Like, you just got no chance. I'm going to destroy you. When we come back to these next week on Tuesday, you ain't got no chance, bro. I'm good at this. I do this. I set them up for a reason.
Yeah.
I be knowing.
I
definitely be knowing. But let's get into this next game. What game is next here? God,
Los Angeles Rams,
Tampa my
Bay
favorite.
Buccaneers.
So I was telling the Beard this off air. I was saying, the Bengals is like your new team, and the Rams is like my new team because I'm all Rams all day, man. I've been loving the Rams offense. Electric. Odell Beckham is still one of my favorite players in the league. So definitely rooting for him to put up some more points. We'll get to those over-unders after we do this brief preview on this game one time. The Los Angeles Rams are chasing a rare feat, but they must get past the only team to accomplish that when they visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Divisional Round on Sunday. The Rams could become the second team to win a Super Bowl in its home stadium, with February's 56th edition being played at LA's SoFi Stadium. In last year's Super Bowl, the Bucs became the first team to do it at Raymond James Stadium, and that's where the teams will meet on Sunday at 3 p.m. Kind of interesting. Both teams are coming off dominant performances in the wild card round, with the Bucs thrashing the Eagles 31-15, and the Rams took care of them Cardinals 34-11. The Bucs are favored by 3 points in this game, and the over-under is 48.5. The Rams have the 8th best offense in the league and the 5th best defense. They're taking on the Buccaneers, who have the number 1 ranked offense right now in the NFL and the 9th ranked defense. Now, Tom Brady played well enough last week to lead his team to a win. I told the Beard, I said the way they played last week, that's not going to get them to another Super Bowl. Tom Brady was 29 of 37 for 271 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns, clean, 0 interceptions. My guy, the Beard's best running back, Keyshawn Vaughn, he's in love with some Keyshawn Vaughn, had 17 carries for 53 yards. And this is a reason why I just don't think this will be enough for the Bucs to get to the Super Bowl. 3.1 yards per carry for Vaughn and 3.4 yards per carry for Giovanni Bernard. That ain't gonna get it done, but both of them did have a touchdown on the day. And Mike Evans lit it up last week, man. 9 receptions for 117 yards and a touchdown. And Rob Gronkowski's found his way to the end zone, too, on 5 receptions for 31 yards. Now, real quickly, I'm going to just break this down. The Buccaneers defense, they blitz more than any team in the NFL. They have a 41% blitz rate on the year. But here's the kicker for you. Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFL against the blitz this season. It's looking like I stole a couple nuggets off the Beard's plate right there, ranking first in pass EPA when facing the blitz. The Bucs held the number 1 rushing team, the Philadelphia Eagles, last week to 95 total rushing yards. So I'd look for more of that. The Bucs should be able to stop the run. But we cannot forget Brady is the GOAT. He's the GOAT for a reason. He led the NFL in passing yards with 5,316 yards on the season. He also led in touchdowns with 43 on the year. 14-2 is his record in the divisional round of the playoffs. I mean, that's just crazy. Like, 14-2 could be a quarterback's record in his whole career.
There aren't teams that have that many wins in the divisional round.
It's
like
ridiculous.
In the history of their franchise.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that he's played in that many divisional round games. His 14 appearances are already twice as many as Joe Montana's 7, which is second most all time. So you got Tom Brady at 14-2, and then you got Joe Montana with 7 appearances. It just doesn't make any sense. But Mike Evans, man, he really turned up for the playoffs last week with them 9 receptions in that win over the Eagles. Mike Evans set a franchise record with those 9 receptions in a playoff game. He is 7 receptions away from passing Warrick Dunn. Shout out to Warrick Dunn to become the Bucs' all-time leader in playoff receptions. I think that the Rams are just going to have to effectively run the rock. You know, we saw it last week in their game with Cam Akers coming back off the Achilles injury, right? It didn't look great on the stat line. 17 rushes for 55 yards. Sony Michel added to 13 for 58 yards, right? And that didn't look great. But if you watch the game, Cam Akers was a reason why they won that game. I felt like with him and Odell Beckham in the first half, they really sparked that offense and really got them in position to score points early in that game. I think in this game, the Bucs are going to be able to stop the run fairly similar to what happened with the Rams last week against the Cardinals. And Stafford's going to have to make some big plays, man. He cannot make big mistakes in this game. Last week, he made some critical throws. Now, he only threw the ball 17 times, and he had 13 completions on the day, right? But those 13 throws, they're pivotal throws. These are not easy throws that McVay is putting out there for Matthew Stafford. In the victory over Arizona, Stafford did not throw any interceptions for the first time since week 14. We got to keep it that way, okay? I'm a Rams fan now. There's no NFC East teams in the playoffs. I'm saying we got to keep it that way. The wide receivers cannot make the big mistake. That's another note that I put down here. You cannot have those like tip passes, those drop balls, those fumbles, nothing like that. This has to be a clean game for the Rams here because the Bucs, they're the defending Super Bowl champions for a reason. Now, Cooper Kupp, we know last week, pretty much through 3 quarters was non-existent. Double teamed all day. It opened up things for Van Jefferson and Odell Beckham. But in 3 games versus the Bucs, Cooper Kupp averages 120.7 yards and a touchdown per game versus the Tampa Bay Bucs in his career. He had at least 9 catches for 96 yards in all 3 of those games. He's caught 29 of his 40 targets versus the Bucs. And last week, we can't even forget, in a slow game, he had 5 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown. He's now scored a touchdown in 6 of his past 7 games. I mean, Cooper Kupp, like out of nowhere, you pair him with Matthew Stafford, and he's been a straight-up beast, man. And some of those little moves he was making last week, them little jukes he was doing, I was like, this dude
like
looks
me
like,
out there.
Right, like he don't look that agile, but he makes people miss. I love to see it. Cooper Kupp should have a big game. And Odell Beckham Jr., man, like, I love to see it. You know I love to see it. I got the signed Odell Beckham Jr. jersey on his back wall. You can't see it in the frame right now. I showed people last week. But I feel like he was a bigger reason for that spark. He had to throw to Cam Akers for 40 yards. He had the big touchdown catch where he straight up Randy Moss that defensive back. Odell Beckham has scored a touchdown in 6 of his 9 games with L.A. When he was playing for the Cleveland Browns before that for 9 games or for 9 weeks before he was signed by the Los Angeles Rams, he didn't have 1 touchdown on the Browns, and everybody was blaming Odell Beckham as a reason for the dysfunction of their offense, when in reality we know it's Baker Mayfield. I won't say it's Baker Mayfield because he was not healthy, but I will just say it's Baker Mayfield, okay? I'll give him a little bit of an asterisk because he was hurt, but, bro, come on, Baker Mayfield not getting it done. The Rams right now, 3-1 against the spread this season as an underdog, and they come into this game as an underdog. They are the Bucs are favored by 3, I believe it was. Yeah, the Bucs are favored by 3 points in this game. The Rams are 3-1 when they're an underdog this season. So I'm looking for a little bit more of that. Sean McVay, he improved to 4-3 in the playoffs after they won last week. It's looking pretty good for him. Bruce Arians is 6-2 in the playoffs. He's 5-0 with the Bucs. With another win, Arians will have as many playoff victories with Tampa Bay as all of the other Buccaneers head coaches combined. So, Bruce Arians, you need to be saying a bunch of prayers to God and saying, thank you, God, for Tom Brady, because Tom Brady completely reversed how your playoff career has been going to this point. I'm going to go ahead and give you a score right now. I'm confident in this game. I'm confident in this Rams offense. The one thing that I'm a little bit sketched out about is Matthew Stafford under a little bit of pressure here going up against the GOAT. But I'm going to go with the Rams. This is going to be a high-scoring. Hold on. We got to shout out to the graphics department one time because we got to get this one ready and prepped up. Okay? We got one. Of course we got one. This one's going to be a boat race, okay? This one is going to be a boat race. I got the Rams winning this one in a high-scoring game. I'm going to go 38-34 in favor of the Los Angeles Rams.
Interesting. I mean, listen, you took a lot of nuggets, but you left me a 4-piece Happy Meal, so I'm going to go with it.
I took the toy from the Happy Meal and everything, dog.
Well, I took the toy and sold it on eBay. But anyways, listen, the Tampa Bay offensive line is going to be the key in this game. Now, Tristan Wirfs banged up. We got to wait and see if he's going to be able to play or not. And if he is going to be able to play, is he going to be 100%? Because with offensive linemen, it's a little bit different. Like sometimes you can play hurt interior, but those tackles, if you're not 100%, those D ends will take advantage of you. And we saw that once Wirfs went out the game. Literally, the next play, Tom Brady got sacked. So you know who's going to be lining up on the end out there on the side that either a banged-up Tristan Wirfs or a replacement is going to be playing, and that is a gentleman that was acquired by the Los Angeles Rams midseason, Von Miller. And you know what Von Miller has done in 5 straight games?
He's
gotten a sack.
Yeah.
1 sack, at least 1 sack in 5 straight games. So that matchup right there is definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on because
he did that quietly. Very quietly. They weren't talking about
very
that.
quietly. No, they were not. Because I think there's just so much was going on at that time of the season. I think the Rams kind of liked that was the situation. Because you know what's crazy is that it's the same thing with Odell. And obviously I don't want to get too much into it, but it's the same thing with Odell. When Odell didn't catch a touchdown in those games, because he's had, like you said, 6 of the 9 he's been with the Rams, 6 of his last 8. Now, let's just say, when he wasn't catching a touchdown in those games, that's all you heard about, right? But when Odell was catching touchdowns, nobody was really saying anything like they were when he wasn't catching touchdowns. But we'll save that.
Not us.
Yeah, you're not us, you know. But we'll save that for another discussion and for another day. But listen, Leonard Fournette too. There's a lot of questions around the Tampa Bay Bucs injury-wise. Leonard Fournette, is Leonard Fournette going to be back? Because they need playoff Lenny.
Yeah, is Ronald Jones completely ruled out? Like
he's on the IR, I believe. I think he's on the IR.
They really need Leonard Fournette, man. I like Keyshawn Vaughn. I think he could do some things, but he's not a premier running back for sure.
And obviously, Tampa Bay is going to need somebody to step up as another receiver because Mike Evans. We know Jalen Ramsey, Mike Evans. That's going to be a battle all game long. So. Is it going to be Tyler Johnson? Is it going to be Bashard Perryman? Is it going to be Grayson? Or are we just going to have a big game from Gronk? I don't know. But listen, I have a rule of thumb. That rule of thumb is never, ever, ever, ever bet against Tom Brady.
Ooh. I'm a Giants
But I'm
fan,
going.
bro.
I'm going Los Angeles Rams.
don't
I'm
care.
breaking my own rule. Spike
My man.
don't care.
My
Breaking
man.
my own rule here. I just listen. I the Rams were my Super Bowl pick in the beginning of the year, and then when Cam Akers went down, if you go back and you watch the first episode this season of Authentic and The Beard, I talked about how I loved the Rams, but that Cam Akers injury I thought really set them back. I think they did a great job by picking up Sony Michel at some point in the season. Obviously losing Robert Woods, but then having gotten Odell Beckham the week before. Perfect timing. Von Miller, another acquisition. So I think having Cam Akers back, it sounds crazy, right? Somebody who's only going to touch the ball maybe 15 times at best comes back. You know, I just think that the Rams are going to win. I'm going to go with the Rams 27-24.
I like that, man. I think we missed this one from Tudo
Yeah, we
earlier.
did. Big shout out to Tudo for the $4.99 super chat. Says, "Saluti, big boss, authentic. Drop by to pay our proper respects. And for all Giants fans around the world, slam! Dun, 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 all the birds to the ground."
That was a good freestyle. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
We're going to go back-to-back, Tudo.
Yes, back-to-back Tudos, man. Shout out
The
Tudo.
$4.99 super
Tudo.
chat says it's 3 a.m. in Italy. We're on the road again for a few away games, and we're about to hit 4 a.m. outdoors, not the pancake house like D.C., but workouts in 30-degree weather. Hard work always pays off.
Big facts, man. Shout out to Tudo, man, one of our biggest supporters. Not only us, but everybody in the New York Giants community doing this YouTube thing. We definitely appreciate you, man, pulling up with the $4.99 super chat. And we appreciate your presence, bro. You already know we got the backhands and the body slams ready to go for them Eagles fans. But y'all welcome, too. You know, the Eagles fans, y'all welcome. Y'all can hang out in the chat. It's like, you know, it's a little bit of brotherly love. You know, like your older brother picking on you a little bit. You know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're the older brother or the younger brother nowadays, though, because the Giants been slumming.
Coach Taylor's back. Shout out Coach Taylor.
Hey, shout out Coach Taylor back at practice here. He just, you know, you guys go over there, run some drills. I'll be back. I'm going to go hit up Taco Bell. I'll be right back. My man, Coach Taylor. Salute. All right, so you got the Rams. I got the Rams. The chat, I don't know who they got. I see 35-24 for the Rams from Jake S.W. Hunter. Kareem Yee's got the Rams. CJ Talk Movies got the Rams. So we seen a lot of Rams here. That's what's up, man. Jeremiah Butler, I think, got the Rams too.
Ramalama Bing Bong.
Jeremiah says he thinks the Rams are the most complete team. But then he said, but Brady.
But, I mean, listen.
It's
You
very
could
true.
throw everything out the window. Like, you could have a notes, right, for the game.
Yeah.
And then on the Tampa Bay side of the notes, you could just literally just write Brady.
Yeah. Big facts, man. I just
You
hope
could.
that Matthew Stafford doesn't have a horrible game. I don't want them
I
being
saw-
oh, he's not the guy and blah, blah, blah. I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Listen, because we were both big Matthew Stafford supporters here.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was Keem who in the chat said, I like the Rams as long as Matthew Stafford is not out there on his YOLO thing.
Yeah.
And, I thought that was a
That's facts
well
right
put.
there.
Yeah.
That's facts. We got a lot of people coming in with some Buck scores there too. Mac the Giants fan, Rozelle, and also old man Rob. All right, let's get to these over-unders one time for this game. And then we just got one more to go. We're making pretty decent time. We just hit that 2-hour mark. We appreciate all y'all pulling up, hanging out with us today before this divisional round. This is going to be a very, very, very interesting weekend. I had some clients trying to book some stuff on Saturday. I was like, oh, nah. The way my football's set up, we ain't doing nothing on Saturday or Sunday. But let's get to these over-unders for the Rams at Bucks game. I want to go back to that one track, yo. People digging that one. All right. Rams at Bucks over unders. Here we go. All right, we'll start. Let's get that one. We're going to go. Start with the GOAT real quick. Tom Brady over 285 yards passing versus the Rams. What y'all got on this one, chat? How y'all feeling about Tom Brady going over 285 yards versus this Rams defense? Coming in hot.
Yeah, you are.
Coming in hot. All right, Kareem Yee is taking the under 285 yards on the day. Jeremiah's taking a push on this one, right at 285. Perry Mack's going with the over along with MJ23. Shout out MJ23 one time in the building. CJ Talks Movies says over. I still am not too sure if it's Michelle. I'm not too sure.
It's Mitchell. It's pronounced Mitchell.
Mitchell. See, I'm all over the place. I'm all wrong. I've been making too many mistakes with names to try to be confident here with the raise yells and all that. I was terrible with that. But shout out Mitchell one time in the building, says hell no, he's going with the under. Mac, the Giants fan, goes with the under along with Jameson. Stephen White takes the over. Rozelle the Great taking the push on this one. And Bluegrass Pickers taking the over. Old Man Rob and Kevin the PRF both got the under. CJ Talks Movie says the GOAT is going over. Bell's got the over as well. Mike Gorga and Jameson both got the under. And No Mets, No Nets, No Jets also has the under. Jake is going with the over. He have to, he says. And The Reality is taking the under on this one. The Beard, what you got for Tom Brady going over 285 yards passing versus the Rams?
This is tough, man.
Yeah, this is tough.
Because, that's the thing with Brady. Brady either goes 326, 410, 363, 375, or he goes
that's how you doing. That's how you doing.
226.
Shout out to Tudo one time in the building again.
For the $4.99 super chat. Please wish us the win for our upcoming away games with big teams, and also pray for our opponents' teams, players, casualties, because they about to happen.
What is it saying about happen? For something to happen, it's got to happen for it to happen.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, shout out Tudo, man, and the rugby squad, man. We definitely wishing y'all the best of luck in your games on your away traveling that y'all about to be doing, man. You already know what it is, bro. Go out there and kill it, man. Do your thing. We got big faith in you, Tudo. You know what it is.
All right, I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah, I mean, we go on Rams with the victory. I'm gonna take the under in this one as well, too.
It's tough, though, man. It's tough. Like I said, it's just...
If the Bucs win, he's going to get over that. Yeah, the Bucs win, he'll get over that.
Depends on if playoff Lenny's back.
It really does. It really, really does. Let's see. So, I didn't do as many for this game. This is an interesting one right here. Von Miller over 1 sack versus the Bucs.
Good at these, man. You used to work in Vegas.
Oh, I like that. All right, we're going to give him 30 seconds in the chat to get things populating. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I just made a Timism right there. Populating. Back to Giants fans going with the push. Rozelle with the under. And Waterfly with the over. So right off the bat, we going three different answers. Yep. MJ23's taking the under along with Jameson and Stephen White. Perry Mack comes in with the over. CJ Talks Movies with the under. Stan Albert with the over if the Rams win. Kevin the PRF is taking the under along with Old Man Rob, who says he'll get half a sack. The Reality is taking the push along with Jeremiah Butler. Mr. Mini Guy's taking the over. And Mitchell is also taking the over as well, along with Kareem Yee. And Bells is taking the push. Thinks Von Miller will get 1 sack on the day. The Beard, what you got?
I'm gonna go with my little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna take the push.
Taking the push. I like that, man. I'm not trying to pick the same picks you pick all the time here, but I'm going to go with the push as well, too.
What you got?
I'm going with what I got here, definitely, man. I like the push because, Tom Brady, man, the least sacked quarterback in the NFL all season. It's been that way for a long time. I mean, I don't think he probably gets sacked at the most times, maybe 4 times on the day. I can't imagine 2 of them coming from Von Miller. I'm going to go with the push on this one.
It's going to be Aaron Donald because we talked about this, too. If they want to get to Brady, they got to get that interior pressure because Brady's not going. You're not going to get to Brady from the outside. He'll step right up and throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? But getting him in the inside is where you really got to get him. But Aaron Donald's going to have a big game, I think.
Yeah, you got to catch him when he's stepping up in the pocket. So let's see. Yeah, Jeremiah says 1 sack on the day, so he's taking the push as well. All right, let's get to this next one, man. Try to fly through these here. Rob Gronkowski over 1 receiving touchdown versus the Rams. The chat, y'all got about 30 seconds left on this beat, so I'm giving y'all 15 seconds to get these submissions in while the Beard gets his wits together one time. Let's see what we talking. All right, they all came in at once here. Lax044 is taking the push, thinks Rob Gronkowski is going to have 1 touchdown on the day. Mac thinks the same exact way, along with Kareem Yee. Rozelle the Great is taking the over, along with Stephen White taking the over as well. We got some pushes from Jameson and from Jake S.W. Hunter and Bluegrass Picker. What else we got here? Mitchell's taking the over. He needs to have a big game for them to win. That's big facts right there. What else we got? Reality's taking the under. CJ says push it real good. Taking the push. MJ23 with the push on this one. Jeremiah Butler with the push. Mr. Mini Guy says he's taking the over. Bell's taking the over as well. Mike Gorga taking the push along with Kevin the PRF. And shout out to the homie Tudo one more time in the building.
$4.99 super chat says our entire team would like to invite Authentic the Boss and his wingman Goose to Italy. All paid for. Our compliments with all respects for all your hard works all year long. It's a whole lot of alls in there, and it's all good, and it's all love, Tudo.
Hey, that's amazing right there, Tudo. And yeah, you already know me and the Beard would definitely pull up to Italy, man. You know, take a little rowboat down the water, look at some nice skies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Eat some spaghetti and pasta and all that. So yeah, Tudo, you know we already down for that, man. Let me tell you what I was thinking about when Lucas sent us all the snacks. I was like, man, like what if Lucas is like a hitman? And he like injected some old, anthrax up in his show right here one time. I started eating them macadamias. I was like, man, I should be all right. If not, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Authentic and the Beard to the death, bro. Y'all already know what it is.
And you got to them Tam-Tams and you were like, man, it's all good in the hood.
Tam-Tams, bro. Listen, if you ever get to Australia and get your hand on some Tam-Tams, bro, get as many as you can to bring back to the States, bro. Them Jones is fire. Shout out No Mets, No Nets, No Jets one time in the building.
With a $1.99 super chat says the Rams got that NASCAR package.
Shout out No Mets, No Nets, No Jets. That's what's up, man.
Days of Thunder. Underrated
Great movie. I don't even know if it's underrated. That's solid. That's solid right there. Cold Trickle. Come on, cuz.
Cold Trickle, man.
Cold Trickle, man. Favorite scene was when they brought the cop to pull over the bus. That was one of my favorite scenes, especially as a kid. And I used to like the Days of Thunder, virtual kind of like ride that they had at King's Dominion. That was real dope too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. You know all about that OG stuff, man. Yeah, shout out to Cold Trickle. And the I don't know why I'm like drawing a blank now for that movie.
The other guy who he faced against?
No, the name of the flick. The name of the flick.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't remember the other dude who he was racing, but that dude was a goon. Remember, he got in the crash. That dude was a goon. Didn't they race like in the hospital on the wheel? Crazy movie. Crazy movie. We got a lot of football to talk about, but that's definitely a crazy movie. All right, so I got a couple more here for this game. We got the Von Miller one out the way. We got Gronk out the way.
What you doing?
Oh, with Rob Gronkowski, I'm gonna go under.
Over.
You going over?
He's going to catch 2 tutters.
2 touchdowns. So that gives me some good odds to lose this one and be okay. I like that. All right, speaking of touchdowns, let's keep the Bucs theme going here. Mike Evans over 1 receiving touchdown versus the Rams. How y'all feeling about this one, chat? Is Mike Evans going to get 2 touchdowns on the day? Are you going to take the push or are you going to take the under one time? How y'all feeling about this one, chat? I'm going to give y'all 20 seconds. When this beat drop, I'm going right to the Beard. I got Old Man Rob with the over one time. I got Mac, the Giants fan, with the under. And I got Jeremiah Butler with the push one time. All right, we coming back to y'all, chat. Beard, what you got on this one?
Under.
Ooh, taking the under for Mike Evans over 1 receiving touchdown on the day. I'm with you on that one, man. I'm taking the under on this one as well. I think, no. Take that back. I'm going push. I'm going push. Shout out to the homie Jake one time. Taking a push as well. And no Mets, no Nets, no Jets is taking that push as well. Mr. Mini Guy's taking the over. He got Mike Evans getting 2 of them tutters one time. So does Stephen White. Reality's taking the push along with Bells one time, and Mitchell is taking that push as well. All right. Got a quick little under from the homie Marco Lewis. Shout out to Marco Lewis one time in the building, man. That's a new name. Haven't seen Marco Lewis in here, man. Salute to you pulling up. Welcome to the fam. Jameson's taking the push. And another new name in here one time,
Slinky.
Let me see. Slinky with some X's maybe? Slinky YT.
Slinksy.
We could be doing that all day.
It's like a
Slinksy. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. You let us know in the chat one time. But my man is taking the over one time on this one. Mr. Mini Guy says, I think it's going to be a shootout. I'm right there with you, man. Big boat race vibes on this one. So the Beard took the over. I'm taking the push. I'm taking the push on that one. I like the push.
I took the under. You're taking a push.
You took the under. I'm taking the push. That's right.
We're going up. We're going up.
You are doing the playing bailiff right now, documenting everything. So yeah, you got that. Don't be cheating. Don't be cheating, bro. Writing down different answers from me that you know.
We've got it all on the YouTube.
I know. I don't want to have to go back and do no instant replay going to the hood and try to find out what's good here. All right. I got a couple more for this game. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I definitely got a couple more for this one. Did I do any OBJ ones yet? I didn't do OBJ, right?
Nope.
Odell Beckham Jr. over 1 receiving touchdown versus the Bucs. What you got, chat? You got about a good 15, 20 seconds. I need to see these coming in hot. Mike Gorga taking that push. Perry Mack coming in hot with the over one time for Odell Beckham Jr. Glenn, shout out to Glenn one time in the building. Yo, that's looking dope on that profile pic. He's taking the under one time on this one. Bluegrass Picker takes the push on this one. Old man Rob also with the push. Jeremiah Butler and Kevin the PRF and Mitchell all taking the push. Marjorie goes with the under. You let me down on that one, Marjorie. Lax
Our dog's name is Odell.
You really let me down on that one, Marjorie. Lax taking the push. Mr. Mini Guy taking the over along with Bells taking the over. Jameson Taylor takes the under. The Beard, what you got?
I'm going to the push.
Taking a push on this one. Odell gonna get one of them things, huh? I don't know. I'm seeing a big game for Odell Beckham, okay? A big game.
Is that what the crystal ball says?
That's what the crystal ball says, bro. I'm going with the push too, though. I think it'll be 1 touchdown.
You got me there.
Receiving. You know, he might throw one. You never know. Odell Beckham, man.
Might run one. You never know.
Might run one.
The way McVay be, like to pull a little rabbit out the hat.
That's big facts. Tudo with the super chat too one time, man. We appreciate that, Tudo.
Big shout out to Tudo. For the $4.99 super chat, says there are most possibilities that I won't be playing in Italy next year. My agents are negotiating with the biggest teams in the world, Craig, with lucrative offers we can't refuse. So what are we talking? New Zealand? We talking South Africa? You know what I'm saying? Like those are some of the Australia. Those are some of the hot spots for rugby teams. So, it'd be interesting to see. Maybe we get a Lucas and Tudo meetup session at the
that would be fire. That would be fire.
Do they call the field in rugby the pitch like they do
soccer?
I
don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. Tudo, let us know about that. Tudo, we definitely appreciate the super chat, man. And best of luck, man, negotiating your contracts here coming up for the rugby season, man. Hope all that goes well, man. Get to that bag, Tudo. Get to that bag. I already know you're going to do that. Salute to the homie Tudo one time. And Marjorie said cat, not dog.
Oh, sorry about that.
I got 3 of them things, Marjorie. All right, so I took the push. You took the
push.
You took the push as well. Okay. Shout out to Marco Lewis, too. He's tuning in from the Windy City, Chicago, and he's a Giants fan. All Giants fans are welcome here. You already know that, man. Welcome to the fam. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you dig in what Awthentik and The Beard is putting down. All right, got a couple more before we move on to this last game here. Let's go with Cam Akers. Cam Akers over 70 yards rushing versus the Bucs. Tough, ain't it? Tough, ain't it?
That sounded like a generated sound effect.
Oh, for Odell. I like that. Okay, so chat, what y'all thinking about this one? Mike Gorga comes in with the over 70 yards rushing for Cam Akers. Marco Lewis takes the under one time. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets says OBJ ain't no runner. Jake is taking the over one time on this one. What else we got? Mac the Giants fans taking the push. Mr. Mini Guy taking the under. Kareem Yee taking the over. We got a push from ENA. We got time. Jake taking the push. Jeremiah taking the under along with Mitchell. Jameson Taylor taking that push. Old man Rob's got the over. Marjorie says, Cam, what an incredible comeback from injury. She's going with the over. The Beard, what you got on this one for Cam Akers over 70 yards rushing versus the Bucs?
As much as I love Cam Akers, and you guys know I love Cam Akers, I think he has a good game. I just think it's going to be more reflective of the last week's game plan. I think he gets over 70 total yards, but I'm going to go under 70 yards rushing.
I like that. Cam Akers. They got to get that running game going if they want to win this game. I'm going over the 70 yards for Cam Akers. Got a little bit warmed up last week. He's going to come out hot this week, get over that 70 and be pushing 100 yards. I'm taking the over in this one. All righty. Oh, and appreciate the subscription, Marco Lewis. We definitely appreciate that, fam. Let me see here. What else we got for this one right here? We got Odell out the way. Okay, let me get your boy out the way, and this will be the last one for this game. Van Jefferson over 40 yards receiving versus the Bucs. The chat, how y'all feeling about this one? We're going to give y'all 20 seconds to get it together. Get your submissions in one time. Let's see what y'all talking about with Van Jefferson. Our guy, Kadarius Toney's fam, went out there, had on a Rams scarf, got a bunch of flack from a bunch of bozo Giants fans out there hating on my man Kadarius Toney. But how y'all feeling about Van Jefferson getting over 40 yards receiving on the day? All right, we got a couple in here so far. We got old man Rob taking the under 40 yards receiving for Van Jefferson. I see what the Beard is doing. Every one of these, he's going and he's looking at the
not
player's
everyone,
stats,
but
right?
when's that like?
When's
that like? I'm
how
on
many
edge.
games has he gone over 40 yards in the last 5 or 6 meetings? We shall see. I'm winging.
Let me tell you
boy.
what's crazy. I'll tell you what's crazy really fast. He had one catch last week. You know
Got
how
him over
many
40.
yards it was for?
42.
41 yards.
41 yards.
It just throws a wrench in it, man. He could do that.
Yeah, Mitchell, I'm feeling you on this one right here. Yeah, that's what my gut telling me too. It's either going to be him or Odell with the big game. Matthew Stafford already know. Cooper Kupp going to be getting them double teams. One of them got a ball out. Jameson went with that under. Mike Gorga with the over. Kevin the PRF with the over. Under. It's going to be all Kupp and OBJ from Slinksy. I'm going to go Slinksy. YT on that one. And Bell's got the push on this one. What you got, the Beard?
I'm going to go under.
I'm going over 40 yards receiving for Van Jefferson. He's going to have at least one big play in this game. I like this. We're split on a couple. I told you I'm taking care of business on these over-unders, bro. I told you I'm taking care of business. All right, I don't think I did this Cooper Kupp one, so we'll go with this one to be the last one around this game out. Cooper Kupp over 100 yards receiving versus the Bucs. How y'all feeling about this one, chat? Y'all think Cooper Kupp's going to get over 100 yards receiving? Didn't make it over 100 in his last game. He was sitting around 60-something last game. How y'all feeling about this game versus the Bucs? I know that run defense is crazy, but maybe they can find a way to get Cooper Kupp 100 yards on the day. Let's see how the chat is talking about this one. Rozelle taking the under 100 yards early on this one. Reality says Cooper Kupp is going to go off. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets taking that under one time. Slinksy is taking the under as well, saying about 80 to 90 yards. Jameson's taking the under. Reality's got the over. Mike Gorga's taking the over on this one. Rozelle taking the under. Old man Rob taking the over. Kareem Yee says it'll be close, but he's taking the under. And Mitchell's taking the under. They game planning for him right now. That's big facts right there. Bell's taking the under and Jake taking the under. Shout out to the homie Big Pat in the building one time. Make sure to go sub up to Big Pat, man. He's putting in big work over there, putting his foot in this Giants content creator game, man. Definitely appreciate him pulling up, checking us out. He's going with the over 100 yards receiving for Cooper Kupp on a day. And shout out to our newest subscriber, Marco Lewis, going with the under one time. Last but not least, the homie Mr. Mini Guy. He's going with the push on this one. Thinks Cooper Kupp will have exactly 100 yards receiving on the day. The Beard, how you feeling about this one? Cooper Kupp over 100 yards receiving versus the Bucs. Are you taking the under or are you taking the over?
I initially was going to take the over, but I think I'm going to slide around with Perry Mack. I think he's going to be right around that 100-yard mark. I think he's going to come up just a few yards short. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm taking the under. I think it's going to be more of a spread-out sort of situation. Kupp, Higbee, OBJ, Van Jefferson, Akers, Michelle. I think it's just going to be a little sprinkle.
I like that. I'm going with a big game from Cooper Kupp, man. Like I said, I think this one's going to be a boat race. I should have just took overs on everybody that's involved in this game with every one of these. I'm going to go with the over Cooper Kupp, over 100 yards receiving versus the Bucs. Jake said about 87.
87 right. To be exact.
87. All right, so that does it for our over-unders for the Rams at the Bucs, man. That should be a good one, man. So over-under-wise in the game, did I take the over? I took the over, right? I think my point's at. Yeah, I took the boat race. Yeah. I took the over.
Yeah, 38-34. You're definitely over.
I'm definitely over. For sure. I'm over 2 New York Giants games, for real. Straight up and down. All right. So, let's see. Okay, I closed out some things. Let's get this back up right here. And, man, I don't know if they set this up on purpose, but they saved the best game for last. For sure, bro. Like, this matchup here between the Bills and the Chiefs is going to be a epic game, and I hope it does not, like, let me down. You know, both these offenses coming in super hot. I hope this one doesn't let me down. The Kansas City Chiefs sailed past the Pittsburgh Steelers to advance to the divisional round, but quarterback Patrick Mahomes isn't expecting the same thing when he takes on the Buffalo Bills this weekend in a rematch of last season's AFC Championship game. Last year, the Chiefs advanced to the Super Bowl after beating the Bills 38-24, but in their only matchup this season, the Bills handled the Chiefs 38-20. You can't forget that was that game that was postponed a little bit by lightning. Patrick Mahomes did have the 2 interceptions in that game. The Bills are coming off one of their best, not one of their best, the Bills are coming off one of the best performances in NFL history as they dismantled the Patriots last week in the wild card round, 47-17, where Josh Allen posted the second best passer rating ever with an A at the end. This matchup should be high-flying. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. Sunday night. The Chiefs are favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is a boat race-like vibe at 53.5. Last time the Bills played the Chiefs, this is what Josh Allen did. 315 passing yards, 59 rushing yards, 4 total touchdowns, and the W. Patrick Mahomes had 2 interceptions in that game. Now, this is definitely going to be a matchup between the 2 quarterbacks, if you ask me on this one. Allen set a Bills franchise record for passing touchdowns in a playoff game with 5 last weekend against the Patriots. He also set a franchise record for completion percentage in a playoff game ever, 84% on the day. In the win over the Patriots, Allen passed for 308 yards and ran for 66 yards. He became the first player in NFL history to have at least 4 playoff games with 250 yards passing and 50 yards rushing. With the wild card win, Josh Allen improved his record to 3-2 as far as the playoffs go, becoming just the second quarterback in Bills history to win 3 playoff starts along with Jim Kelly. Me and the Beard both old enough to remember those 4 Super Bowls that Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills went to. Shout out to Jim Kelly and those Bills, man. They gave 3 of the NFC East teams a Super Bowl ring. shout out to y'all for that, man. We definitely appreciate that. Now, Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City's 42-21 wildcard win over the Steelers. Mahomes set a Chiefs single-game playoff record with 404 passing yards. He joined Ben Roethlisberger, coincidentally, as the second player in NFL history with at least 400 passing yards and 5 touchdowns in a playoff game. Mahomes is the second player since the merger to throw 5 touchdown passes in multiple playoff games. Kurt Warner is the only other quarterback to do so. Now, this game, man, you got weapons all over the place. We already know about the obvious ones. Tyreek Hill, for sure, is definitely going to be a weapon in this game. Stephon Diggs, we already know about that. Now, I think Dawson Knox can be another sleepy kind of pick in this game. Last week, he had the two touchdowns. He set playoff records for receiving yards and for touchdowns by a tight end in that win over the Patriots. He had the 2 touchdowns, 89 yards receiving on the day. And I think Jerick McKinnon, man, he could be an X factor in this game. 61 rushing yards, and he had 81 receiving yards in the win over the Steelers last week. He became just the second player in franchise history to rush and receive for at least 60 yards each in a playoff game. Sorry about that. And I also think Travis Kelce, man, Travis Kelce is the kind of guy that you don't got to worry about, and keep this in mind when we get to those over-unders. He the kind of guy you don't got to worry about putting up that big dud in the playoffs, man. 4 consecutive playoff games with at least 100 yards receiving. That's boss moves right there. He's joining Larry Fitzgerald and Antonio Brown as the only players in NFL history to ever do that, ever. Okay? So I don't think you got to have to worry about Travis Kelce. He's definitely going to show up in this game. The Chiefs are going to have to find a way to either run the ball better than the Bills, or they're going to have to find a way to stop the Bills. We talked about the Bills' defense, too. That Bills' defense is on fire when it comes to every passing category. They lead the NFL pretty much in every passing statistic. But I like the way the Bills ran the ball last week. 174 rushing yards last week, and they held the Patriots to 89. So that kind of same thing cannot happen in this game. The Chiefs cannot get out-rushed like this. You're going to have to try to find a way to run the ball with McKinnon. I don't know the status of Clyde Edwards-Helaire in this game. Is he still on IR?
He's not on IR, but he was practicing last week. But then I don't know if he had a setback, but he ended up not being active. But that's the thing is that like McKinnon was only in that game because there was no Darrell Williams was coming back from injury too, and he only carried the ball once. So it was evident at that point that McKinnon was the best running back available. That's the thing with the Chiefs is they've done this before. I don't know if you remember earlier this season, like one game, it was like Derek Gore just came out of nowhere and just went crazy in the game. So like for me, I think that's one of the things that Buffalo's going to have their hands full with is who are we scheming for? McKinnon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Darrell Williams? Because Darrell Williams is kind of like, in my opinion, he's a combination of Clyde Edwards-Helaire and McKinnon. Clyde Edwards-Helaire can catch the ball out of the backfield, but he's not the speedster and as shifty as McKinnon is. He's more of a downhill runner. Darrell Williams can run the ball downhill, but he also is very deadly with catching the ball out of the backfield. So it'll be interesting to see which hand they feed at the running back position for the Kansas City Chiefs this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I like McKinnon because, in that game last week, I mean, he just stood out to me. He was a guy that the statistics weren't crazy, but he really sparked off a lot of drives. And the Bills, man, they played a flawless game. We're talking about one of the best performances in NFL history, if not the best performance in NFL history. That was a game right there. Josh Allen's passer rating, second best ever. I mean, just completely balled out. The first player in NFL history with 5 passing touchdowns and a completion percentage over 80 and 50 rushing yards in a single game. Seven possessions, 7 touchdowns last week. The Bills had 0 sacks allowed, 0 tackles for loss. What do we talk? No tackles for a loss in a whole damn game. Only 1 quarterback hit the whole damn day. They were 6 of 7 on third down, averaging 8.9 yards per play. Just completely ridiculous day. And Josh Allen only had to throw the ball 25 times. He was 21 of 25. He had more touchdown passes than incompletions. If you're the defense for the Patriots, you probably went home hanging your head to the floor, straight up. I don't know if that's like an anomaly. Are the Bills going to come in that hot again?
Thing. That's what it's super difficult to tell. This game to me is like I feel about this game kind of like how you were with the Bengals Titans game. Like, I'm just so torn because I like both of these teams, and I think that both of these teams are Super Bowl caliber teams. And I mean with Buffalo, They got that safety tandem is probably, if not the best, top three, defensive backfield safety tandems with Poyer and Micah Hyde. I mean,
Yeah. And then you got
that's
Tyron Johnson is like kind of like a money backer, man. He's an X factor as well.
yeah, and that's like that sort of defense fares well generally against Kansas City to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So obviously, they're gonna cut the head off of the snake and try and limit Tyreek Hill. But I mean, you said it. Travis Kelce is just. They got some good linebackers in Buffalo, though, that can guard the tight end, which is going to be interesting. I just think that Josh Allen, this game is going to rely on Josh Allen. He's going to have to do what he did against New England and set the pace early with his legs. Obviously, I think that Buffalo Bills defense against Kansas City is also going to be super important. And Kansas City, if Kansas City can get Josh Allen off of his game and force some turnovers, bro, they've forced 18 turnovers in their last 8 games. The Kansas City Chiefs defense had.
Jeez.
So that's going to be key. I mean, what's interesting is, remember when Kansas City was going through this whole like downward slide, right? It wasn't a downward slide. It was a slump against a tough competition in early to mid-season, right? And it was the Dallas game when I said, look, this Kansas City defense is back. Now that they got some of these pieces that they were missing for a few weeks.
There was a player that you mentioned in that week. I remember that. You were saying they were getting somebody back, and that was going to be the X factor. I can't remember who the player was.
Chris Jones.
Chris
Jones? I think it was Chris Jones.
It might have been Chris Jones. It might have been. I can't remember if it was Chris Jones or not.
But that was when they kind of turned things around. And they completely changed the way that defense was playing. And they've just been playing so much better, and that's going to be key. This game is tough. Like, this game is either going to be like a 17-13 game, or it's going to be like a 49-42 game. You don't really know what's going to happen. I do want to give a big shout out to No Mets, No Nets, No Jets for the 1.99 cents super chat. Says Bills over Kansas City, best sports team in New York. And ENA, we got time for the $4.99 super chat. Says, hold on, guys. I got the biggest nugget. When Bill was out, Pringle went off. Not saying he has the biggest game, but he has to be a vital part of this offense. Yeah, and
That's
listen,
facts.
If you look at Josh Allen, the way that Josh Allen, and I told Awthentik off air before we went live, I said these two teams are the exact same team. The Bills' defense statistically is a little bit better, obviously.
Right.
But Kansas City has playmakers on defense,
like
too.
that
Let's
you
not
reminded
forget
me
about
of that.
Honey Badger. You know what I'm saying? But, the way that Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes can spread the ball out offensively is just teams will kill to have that sort of ability. We sit here talking about who's going to catch the ball besides Terry McLaurin. You could look at the Buffalo Bills game. You got Emmanuel Sanders making catches. You got Gabriel Davis making catches.
Yeah.
You got the tight end Knox making catches. Then we haven't even gotten Stephon Diggs yet, or Cole Beasley. And then with Patrick Mahomes, he's throwing the ball to Kelce. He's throwing the ball to the running backs out of the backfield. He's got Pringle, Mecole Hardman, and Tyreek Hill. It's just these two teams are built very similar. So for me, it's just super difficult. I'm gonna let you pick the winner first.
Okay, I'll go first. And I like that you brought up these teams are very similar. Their matchup is very similar. So I've been telling you this too. Like, you got to look at the weapons when you get in the playoffs, right? And just match up the weapons. The weapons for both of these teams offensively pretty match up equally, if you ask me, right? There's one place where I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs have a big advantage, and it's at the tight end position. It's not a huge advantage because both of these tight ends were actually the leaders for touchdowns in the NFL at the end of the regular season. So, but for me, it's just that you look at that statistic about Travis Kelce, 4 straight games with 100 yards in the playoffs. We're not talking about regular season games. We're talking about in the playoffs. I think Kelce's going to be that X factor in this game, man. And Andy Reid knows how to scheme it up to get him the ball. There's no lack of getting him the ball ever. So I'm going with the Chiefs in this one. I do think it's going to be a bit of a boat race. That first game this season where the Chiefs took the L was very surprising to me. It was a game I feel like that put Josh Allen on the map even more. And if Josh Allen could get to a Super Bowl, man, I mean, that guy, they're going to consider him a top 3 quarterback in the NFL here pretty soon. He's definitely on the up and up for sure. This is going to be a tough matchup, man. Both of these quarterbacks, they both got a lot of pride on the line. I don't know if you remember, they was talking about this on Chris Sims on Button about how Josh Allen, when he came into the league with all that arm talent, Patrick Mahomes was pretty much like, yo, we can have a contest. I can throw the ball farther than Josh Allen. So I think there's a little bit of young moxie kind of just floating around this game. I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one because I just think that they've had more experience in this position. And two, the weapons, man. I think the weapons just are a tad better than what the Buffalo Bills are working with over there. And I think Patrick Mahomes is just a pinch better quarterback than what Josh Allen is. He's been here. I posted a clip on my Twitter before we went live today where Patrick Mahomes was just on the sidelines after Mecole Hardman had made a critical muffed punt in the playoffs last season. And he was just like, Mecole Hardman was like putting his hood over his head and like, you couldn't see him and whatnot. Pat Mahomes lifts that off him and goes, listen, man, we need you for this game. You're going to make a big play during this game for us to win this game. And then you got to remember against the Texans, the speech that Patrick Mahomes had against the Texans as well. All we got to do is make a play, he said. And then, they were down by, I think, 28 points in that game and ended up coming back to win that game in the playoffs. I got to go with the Chiefs here. I'm going to go a close game, but I don't think it'll be like close, like a field goal close. I'm going to go 37-28 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I want to pick Buffalo so bad. I really do. I really want to pick Buffalo. I just can't do it yet. I can't do it. I need it. I need to see one more game for Buffalo. I'm going to go.
Shout out Red in the building one time. What's up, Red?
I'm going to go 24-23 Kansas City.
Ooh, another tough matchup because the games between them have been like that. A lot of people be expecting the high scoring, and you get those middle range kind of games normally out of them. I like that score. But you sticking with the Chiefs?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, 24-23.
This is a little nugget right here from Bluegrass right here. Jerry Rice, 7 touchdowns in the playoffs. Number 1, Kelsey, 6, tied for number 2 all time. That's a nugget right there. All right, let's get these over-unders. We got 20 minutes left for the over-unders. Perfect. So I said 2 hours. I really meant 3 hours. Y'all know what it is, man, over here at Awthentik and The Beard. We committed to the grind. All right, so the first one.
Let the games
begin. That's as quiet as it's been all stream right there. All right, let's start with Josh Allen. Josh Allen over 50 yards rushing versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chat, how y'all feeling about this one? Are you taking the over or are you taking the under? Josh Allen over 50 yards rushing versus the Chiefs. Old man Rob just gave a score for the game, too. He's got it 35-28 for the Bills. I like it. I like
the gate with the hard one.
I'm going to say Josh Allen gets over the 50 yards rushing versus the Chiefs. Go ahead and book it for me, the Beard. Red is taking the over. Shout out to Red one time in the building. Jake's taking the over. Old man Rob, Bluegrass, Mr. Mini Guy, all taking the over. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. Takes the under one time. Does not think Josh Allen will get over the 50 yards rushing. Slink CYT is taking the under, but thinks he will pass for a lot more. Mitchell is taking the over. Says Josh Allen, the running back. The reality is taking the over as well. Mike Gorgo with the under and Bells with the over. Beer, what you got on this one, man? Josh Allen over 50 yards.
I'm gonna go over. I think they like I said, they need to set the pace early, and Josh Allen likes to do that with his legs. I think he'll run for a few first downs, a couple of little 8-yard scampers, and then they'll have one nice one to put him over the 50
I like that.
yards.
A couple 8-yard scampers. I like that, man. Perry Mack says, get a frying sound when there's nuggets. I like that. We're gonna have to bookmark that, make that happen. All right, so me and you both going over on this one.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take it to this next one right here. This is a good one, too, I think, especially with the game he had last week. Dawson Knox, over 60 yards receiving versus the Chiefs. Chad, how y'all feeling about this one? Is Dawson Knox going to eclipse the 60-yard mark for receiving yards on the day? What you got? My man Red coming in hot with the over one time. Shout out to Red one time. If you're not subscribed up, Red, please subscribe. Welcome to the family. Awthentik and The Beard, the AATB fam. Old man Rob is also going with the over one time. Dawson Knox over 60 yards receiving versus the Chiefs. I'm thinking about it right now as we speak. Let's see what else we got. Mitchell going with the push this time around.
That's not a bad push call.
It's not a bad push. It's not a bad push. But to land right on that 60, that's going to be tough. Bluegrass is going with the under. I'll give you my answer right now. I'm going to say Dawson Knox, I think he'll get a touchdown in this game, but I'm going to go with the under on the 60 yards.
I'm also going with the under. He's more of a touchdown red zone tight end. He's not like Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, George Kittle, sort of middle of the field, long pass, wide out tight end.
Facts. I've been saying it all season, especially on the parlay. He's so touchdown dependent. That's like how he gets his fantasy points for sure. We got a couple overs here at the end, but yeah, it seems like most of us going over. A couple is one with the under, a couple with the push. That's what's up. All right, let's get to this next one real quick. We did that. Josh Allen over 2.5 touchdowns versus the Chiefs. Chat, how y'all feeling? Is Josh Allen going to get to that 3-touchdown mark on the day? Can't take the push on this one. We ruled that out.
Look at you. Let me
you like that, right?
The science that Awthentik does. He lines y'all up with these 1 touchdown, 2 touchdown questions the entire show. Exactly. And then he gets down to this one and he throws that little 0.5 in there.
You already know. And Red, we appreciate you subbing up from the stream that we did on Bad Dog's channel, man. That was a really good one. Shout out to Bad Dog, man. A lot of people coming over from his channel, man. And he's one of the best Giants content creators out there, man. I feel like I was telling the Beard this through text the other day when we saw the numbers just continuously going up on the subscriptions. Bad Dog and Entertainer really like laid the path down for content creators. Not only for New York Giants content creators, I feel like, but just for all content creators across the NFL, man. So shout out to Bad Dog and shout out to Entertainer, man. Their commitment to this community it definitely does not go unseen. And both of those are my guys. I got to kick it with Entertainer when I was in New York for FanFest. We had a unforgettable night. I'm talking about one of those nights where you getting it in. It was a crazy night. We turned up, drank good, partied good. It's fun times, man. Looking forward to doing the same with Bad Dog one of these days soon. Bad Dog say never been to DC, man. I was like, bro, you come out here, man. I got you, man. Everything taken care of. So shout out to Red, man, for the subscription. We definitely appreciate that. Reality's going with the under 2.5 touchdowns for Josh Allen on the day. Red took the over on this one. Old man Rob took the over as well. Jake and No Mets, No Nets, No Jets take the over as well. ENA We Got Time is taking the under on this one. Bluegrass took that over. Mr. Mini Guy with the under. Mitchell with the over. Chiefs love giving up touchdowns.
Passing or because it doesn't say passing. It doesn't say passing.
Yeah, you see, you caught on. I like that. It doesn't say passing, so you know what that means. He thinking. We'll give him a little bit more time to think. Kareem Yee with the over one time. Football talk with Benny in the building, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Go sub up, man. We got to support the youth, man. Awthentik and The Beard, man. We like Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is for the kids. Awthentik and The Beard is for the kids, man. Shout out to my man, Benny. Does a great job over there on his channel, man. Make sure y'all go over there and support him. Subscribe, man. We definitely got to show some love to the youth one time. Appreciate you pulling up, Benny. We're doing some over-unders here. We got Josh Allen over 2.5 touchdowns versus the Chiefs. What you got? Bells has the over on this one. Bluegrass, you four are the best. Appreciate that, Bluegrass. You already know to put me and The Beard in talks with Entertainer and Bad Dog is amazing. We definitely appreciate that. Kai 001 with the over. Mike Gorga with the under. And Mitchell says passing, but we're talking about all total touchdowns here. So if you need to correct that, go ahead and correct that. Football talk with Benny coming in hot with the over. What you got on this one, The Beard?
I had under until I realized that it wasn't just passing, so I am going to put over. I think he accumulates all of the touchdowns for the Buffalo Bills. I thought about maybe Singletary getting one, but I think I'm going to go Josh Allen throws for 2 and runs for 1.
I like that. With the score prediction I picked, I see the Bills putting up some points in this game. I'm going to take the over in this one. I think that he will get at least 1 rushing, and we'll probably see 2. I think Josh Allen had, I can't remember if it was 6 touchdowns or 7 rushing on the season. Perry Mack brought up a really good point here, though. excuse me, he said the running quarterback doesn't work this deep into the playoffs, man. And look, I had a conversation with Bad Dog a little bit about this too. Like, no one has figured out how to sustain the running quarterback yet. This is why I'm so like puzzled about guys like Jalen Hurts. You know, yeah, it works in the regular season, but then you see them get into the playoffs and completely just get mollywopped when they can't run the ball. So I'm not too sure about this with Josh Allen as well. I'd have to go dig into his numbers, but this is a good point that Perry Mack brought up here one time. And last, Mike Gorga takes the over on this one. So
remember,
Beard, you took the under?
I took the over. I took the over. Yeah, okay. But remember, everything that has ever happened has once never happened before.
Until it happened.
Until it happened.
And then it happened. That's how it goes.
It happened.
Shout out to the Beard dropping them gems right now. Dropping them Beardism gems on y'all one time.
Proverbs right. Beard 3-6.
Proverbs. I like that. Okay, so we got Josh Allen out the way. We got Dawson Knox out the way. Patrick Mahomes over 279 yards passing versus the Bills. Let's see what the chat talking about on this one. My heat just cranked up one time in the studio. Coming in hot. If my girl's listening, don't worry, you don't got to turn the heat down. It's not coming in that hot, but it's a little hot. I have my other heater on over here too. Let's see what the chat's talking about here. Mitchell says that's because Jalen Hurts is inaccurate and can't read the field. That is a good point. Struggling with his accuracy right now and reading the field for sure. MJ23 is taking the under on this one with Patrick Mahomes. Red says over, too easy. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets taking it over as well, along with Bluegrass Picker and Mitchell all taking the over. MJ23 said call that fire department one time. Y'all know what it is, man. Hot, coming in hot. And no Mets, no Nets, no Jets says over. Still won't be enough. He's taking the Bills in this game. ENA, we got time. Takes the over. Kareem Yee with the push. 279 exactly. Bell says definitively. I like that. Bluegrass Picker says this one's going to be a boat race. And Jake S.W. Hunter is taking the over on this one. Shout out to my shorty, says coming in hot with them flames one times. Red says soundtrack is flames as well. That's the theme over here on Authentic and the Beard. We coming in hot. Yo, one time, me and my homie Damon, we went on like a road trip. This might have been when we toured like across to Chicago and a few other spots like Ohio and a few other spots. But every time we went to order fast food, the first time we ordered fast food, it was not cold, right? So every time we ordered, we'd be like, yeah, let me get that number 3, a couple of nuggets here on the side. Make sure it's hot. Hot, coming in hot. We don't want no cold food. That's where that came from. Shout out to Red, man, for the props on the soundtrack. We appreciate that. The Beer, what you got on this one here? Patrick Mahomes over 279 yards passing versus the Buffalo Bills.
I'm worried he's gonna come in at like 270, but I'm gonna take the over. I think he just maybe he cracks in with 280. I'm gonna take the over.
I'm right there with you, man. I got a lot of faith in Patrick Mahomes in this game. I think the Chiefs are gonna win this one big. It's gonna be a boat race for sure. And I got him going over the 279 yards on the day. All right, let's get another one up here. We'll stick with the theme here with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes over 2.5 touchdowns versus the Bills. How y'all feeling about this one, chat? Let's let this beat go for another 20, 25 seconds before we get y'all answers on this one. Let's see what they talking. The Beard looks a little bit puzzled here. I'm messing with him. I already know. Ooh, Mike Gorga said he's taking the over plus 100. Whew. Red's taking the over on the touchdowns here for Patrick Mahomes. MJ23 taking the under one time. And MJ23 actually corrected it. He says he's going to take the push on you can't take the push on the 2.5 touchdowns unless he's out here kicking field goals or something. Can't take the push on that one. So we're going to keep that under. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets is taking the over on this one, along with Bluegrass, Mike Gorga as well. All taking the over 2.5 touchdowns versus the Bills. MJ23 corrected that, and he says going with the under. Perry Mack in the house one time with the over. And Mitchell taking the over as well. MJ23 says Pat Mahomes will have 2 touchdowns on the day. All right, The Beard, how you feeling about Patrick Mahomes going over 2.5 touchdowns?
I'm rocking with Jordan. I think I'm going to take the under. I think he gets 2 touchdowns. I think they're going to run one in, maybe with a little McKinnon or a jet sweep to one of the speedsters, Cole or Hill, something along those lines.
I got you. I'm going over 2.5 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes. I do think he's got sneaky ability to get out of the pocket and maybe run one in. You never know, kind of on some Dak Prescott vibes. And I could see him maybe just throwing 3 outright. So I'm going to go over the 2.5 touchdowns for sure.
That's the first one we disagreed on in this game.
Ooh, okay. I'm surprised you're not going with that over 2.5, man. All right, let's see what else we got here. I mean, I'm going to leave. I should have just left this one off. I think I know where everybody's going to go with this one. Let's see, though. Let's see. Travis Kelce over 70 yards receiving versus the Bills. How y'all feeling about this one, chat?
And who's feeling ballsy?
Yep, Mike Gorga was talking about the plus 100s for the passing yards. Yep, I got you on that, Mike. All right, so we got Travis Kelce making it over 70 yards receiving on the day versus the Bills. I talked about his playoff performance. He's got the 4 games with over 100 yards. Jake starts it off with the push early on this one. Marjorie's taking the over, along with Red taking that over too, and MJ23 taking that under. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets says no, taking the under. And Mitchell's going with the push on this one's got Travis Kelce right at 70 yards on the day. I'm kind of still thinking about this one, because I know that the Bills are going to have a plan to try to stop Travis Kelce. Their pass defense has been fantastic all year long. Mike Gorga coming in hot with the over 70 yards for Travis Kelce on the day. Red says Edmonds can't cover him. MJ23 is going with 5 receptions for 60 yards. And Bluegrass says he's taking the under, but 2 touchdowns. Bell says, that's a shout out to them Bison one time here. Howard Bison, that's their little theme at their football games. Bison, And Perry Mack says the streak continues. So he's got him going over the 100 yards and over the 70 yards here. So what you got on this one, The Beard? How you feeling about this one?
He might not get 100, but I'm going to take the over 70. I'm going to take the over 70.
I'm right there with you on that one. He might not get the to the 100, but he's going to get over 70 for sure. Shout out Matthew Fernandez one time in the building rocking with us, man. We appreciate you pulling up. He's taking the over one time on this one. And me and The Beard are both going to take the over as well on this one. All right, so we got Kelce out the way. We got Mahomes out the way. We got Josh Allen out the way on the touchdowns. And we got Josh Allen out the way on the rushing yards. All right. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna throw a wrench in here. This one was a little extra one that I like now. Jerick McKinnon over 90 scrimmage yards versus the Bills. Gave me that. Yeah, I know what I'm doing up here a little bit, Beard. Just a little something. Just a little something. You know what I'm saying? I think the reality was taking the under on the Travis Kelce 70 yards. Let's see how the chat is feeling, though, about Jerick McKinnon going over 90 total yards on the day versus the Bills. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. We appreciate you letting everybody know, like, sub, and hit that bell notification one time. Mitchell said, hell no. Not up in here, taking that
hell
under
to the no.
one time. And Red is taking the under as well. MJ23 is also taking that under as well. Bluegrass Picker with the under as well. Man, we got nothing but unders. I thought this was a good one, man. I thought I was going to split the room with this one right here. Bells just said nope.
If we knew that CEH and Williams were going to be kind of like,
yeah,
with the you don't know who's going to play and who's not going to play situation. Listen, if Jerick McKinnon is the featured back, I would totally take the over. But I just don't know yet, so the safe bet for me is to take the under.
I got you. I'm gonna take the under as well too. I think, I'm gonna take the under, man. I just see Patrick Mahomes going out here lighting it up with the passing game. I think that's how they're gonna put most of their points on the board and get most of their yards. I think it'll be close, but it'll probably be good 72 yards or something like that. Mike Gorga took the under as well, and then Reality said over, just like you said too, over if CEH doesn't play. I like that.
Yeah, because I think he's a perfect fit for that offense when that offense is running that style of play, like the fast pace, up tempo, that sort of style. But I think that in the long run, I'm a strong believer in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He has some injuries, which has been unfortunate, obviously, but
Yeah.
I think he is the perfect back to balance out that.
Yeah, he's got to figure out how to stay
offense.
healthy first and foremost. That's the number one thing with him for sure. But I like him as running back. He can do a lot. Very talented, very versatile as well. Like you said earlier, he can catch out of the backfield. Not the greatest, but he can catch out of the backfield. Shifty as well, can move. He can truck, lower the shoulder. He can pretty much do it all. Kind of reminds me of a running back like a Saquon Barkley a little bit maybe. A little bit less leaning towards the hybrid kind of style probably though. All right, I got two more before we get up out of here, chat, man. We appreciate all of y'all rocking with us now. We're heading into that third hour here almost. We got about 50 seconds left. We're going to try to keep this under 3:05 one time. Maybe, we'll say about 3:05. Tyreek Hill over 70 yards receiving on the day versus the Bills. The chat, how y'all feeling about this one? Tyreek Hill was relatively quiet in last week's game. 70 yards receiving versus the Bills. Is that too much? Y'all going to take the under, or are you going to go with the over on this one? How y'all feeling about this one? Red is going with the over. Big exclamation points on that thing right there. So he really means he going with that over. MJ23 going with the over. Bluegrass picker in the building still going with the over. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. 3 hours in. That's how we do over here at Authentic and The Beard, man. You already know what it is. Let's see who else we got up here in the building. What is this one? Tyreek Hill over. The little thing is in the way of it. 70 yards receiving versus the Bills. His heel was hurt last week. That's a good point. That's a good point. Back in the building.
Big shout out to my man, Brickmaker Westbrook, with the $2 super chat. Over or under on 9 turnovers for me next game. I'm
gonna
gonna
take the under. I'm taking the
man.
under.
Shout out my man Westbrook. Man.
He was in Bad Dogs chat when I was on that channel the other day, man. Shout out to Brickmaker Westbrook. Awesome name. We had some awesome names, awesome chat names up in here tonight, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man, and we appreciate that $2 super chat for sure. Mike Gorga's going with the over on this one. MJ23 says Tyreek Hill, 9 receptions for 93 yards and 1 touchdown. He was electric last week. Don't forget he had that touchdown called back as well. And that kind of held his yards a little bit in check. Did the backflip after he scored the touchdown, too. That was really awesome. Hill, MVP of the game, says Perry Mack. Bells takes the over. This one is hard. Under, says Mitchell. Bluegrass picker said, great name. Big facts. Great name. The Beard, how you feeling about this one? Tyreek Hill over 70 yards receiving versus the Bills.
I love the Buffalo safeties. I'm going to take the under.
I'm going over, man. This is Tyreek Hill. He's been here before. Been there, done that. Dr. Dre vibes one time. I think he's going to get over. I think he's going to get over the 70 receiving yards. I'm going for the Chiefs, man. I think the Chiefs are going to light it up. We'll see how it all plays out. Shout out Zach, who just popped up in the building. He's taking the over on the Tyreek Hill 70 yards receiving versus the Buffalo Bills. Shout out to you, Zach. Good to see you in the building, brother. Cheers, as you would normally say. Let's see. We got one more, y'all, before we get up out of here. Always have the possibility of getting that in one
very true.
catch.
I feel like that's the case with a lot of these names that we've gone over today. I mean, Van Jefferson, 40 yards. Yeah, he had 1 catch last week for 41 yards.
One good post.
It's crazy. So, yeah, it's definitely possible.
Okay, this one's going to go back to the running game for the Buffalo Bills. Appreciate you getting that off for me, too. Thank you. This one is Devin Singletary over 59 yards rushing versus the Chiefs. Chat, how y'all feeling? I'm going to give y'all beat one more time before we get up out of here. Y'all know what it is. Oh, and shout out Rich Jeweler Brady. In the building.
Big shout out to Rich Jeweler Brady for the $2 super chat. Over or under of me spanking the Rams by 3 scores. Under.
Taking that under one time on that one, man. We appreciate you pulling up Rich Jeweler Brady with the $2 super chat, man. We appreciate y'all supporting this stream, man. 3 hours in the books, man. That's how we've been doing. Definitely appreciate you pulling up, man. Shout out to the gang one time. All right, so red is going under. Devin Singletary's 59 yards rushing. Kareem Yee says over. MJ23 with the push. I'm going to get everybody's submissions on this one. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. Taking the over one time. Shout out to Mitchell, still in the building, rocking with us 3 hours, taking a push on this one on the 59 yards rushing. Matthew Fernandez taking that under. The Bills never run the ball. That's very true. As of late, you've been seeing a little bit more commitment to it, but you're right about that. They struggle to run the rock for sure. Mr. Mini Guy taking the over one time. Zach says he's taking under because Josh Allen is the default running back for the offense, similar to the 2015 Cam Newton Panthers. That is a big fact right there. That's why I picked Josh Allen to go over those 55 rushing yards for sure. Bluegrass Picker says he's taking the under. It'll be right around 55. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets, says the beat. Tell me how much. $1 million. Mr. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. Nah, I don't know. This one might have to stay in the bag. I don't know. We'll see, man. Holla at me on Twitter.
There is a link. There is a link to Authentic Beats in the description of this video, I believe.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you need some, you know what I'm going to do too, man? I actually wrote this down on my board. I got like about a good 100 beats from this year that I cooked up that I haven't even posted on my website for sale, for lease or nothing like that. I'm about to make a content creator package and just give away like a good 40 beats for y'all, just so y'all can just have instrumentals royalty free, so you ain't got to worry about no copyright strikes or none of that stuff. So anybody that that might need some instrumentals or some background music for their streams or anything like that, definitely send them my way. Twitter preferably, in my DM. I'll be releasing a link. I'll say probably within a week or two here, so that going into next season, everybody got a nice little package of beats for sure that they can rock to. Appreciate that. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets, man. Definitely appreciate you rocking with the beats today. Mike Gorga's taking the under 59 yards one time. Bells is taking the push right at the 59 yards. Rich says, I own the Bills and the Chiefs, so I can care less. Big facts right there, Mr. Brady. Let's see. Perry Mack says, I think he's a scat back and the Bills not using him right. Yeah, the Bills definitely aren't using him right because Singletary has shown that he could do a lot when he's given the opportunity. He can definitely do some things. Mitchell says, I don't trust the Bills' run game. Josh Allen, their best running back. That's facts. Shout out to Logix one time in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up right here at the end of the stream, man, with the 3 biceps one time. Red says, whoa, 2015 Cam was MVP. Josh Allen, I said this to the Beard. Josh Allen not being mentioned as one of the top guys in the MVP conversation is kind of interesting, man. That statistic of over 750 yards, 4,000 passing yards on a year. Yeah. No quarterback ever have ever done that, ever. Like, that's not being talked about. Hasn't been being talked about enough. So I do think that Josh Allen should be mentioned in this conversation, although Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, man, they've been crazy this year. They've been going way off one time. Reality says it's going to be about 54 rushing yards, so that'll be just up under the 59. Let's see what else we got here.
We got good news.
Kirk Cousins will sign with the Washington football team. That's not the good
news. Kirk Cousins will be the quarterback for the New York Football Giants.
Oh, my guy, man. My guy.
Nick
NTW.
The Wick with the $1.99 super chat says, good news, no surgery on my shoulder. For those of you that don't know, Nick the Wick is a beast.
Straight up beast.
He hurt his shoulder, and we've been waiting to hear some news on it. And today we got good news, and there will be no surgery required on the shoulder. I'm super happy for you, Nick. Hopefully rehab continues to go well, my man.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you sending in that super chat. We should be sending you a super chat for not having to get that surgery, man. Best of luck with you for next season. And, check out Nick the Wick, man, on Twitter. This dude's highlights are ridiculous. I'm going to be the first to say this, bro. You on your way. You definitely on your way. I hope I get to see you one day in the New York Giants uniform, brother, man. Ooh, okay. Flexing the Irish with NTW. Yeah, I like that. Shout out my homie, The Miz, one time. Popping up a little late in the building one time. We're going over this last over-under. Y'all go subscribe to Miz, too, man. Miz has been committing to putting out content for the New York Giants community, too. And I think it's an awesome thing. Miz was telling me, like, just a couple weeks ago, he's like, man, I don't really care about all the, the people subscribing and none of that stuff. And it's good to see people going to his channel subscribing because, one, Miz is the definition of New York. When you hear that man talk, I texted him this and I told him this. He sounds like New York. That's what New York is supposed to sound like, straight up. So make sure y'all go over there, show some love to Miz, man. He's just building his channel right now from scratch. I think he's been doing this now for just a couple of months. So definitely check him out, man. It's a solid channel over there, and he brings in a lot of guests too. Like if you're somebody who wants to like pop in and talk, and speak your kind of points that you want to make about the New York Giants, it's the perfect channel to do that. So make sure to check him out. Let's see. Nick DeWick did say his labrum is torn though.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got we got no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. One more time.
For the $4.99 super chat says, keep in mind, I'm not a rapper. I don't have Twitter, and I live on the Georgia corridor. That beat, it won't ever be resold to anyone.
I like that. Maybe we work out a little leasing deal or something for you to use it, because that thing is fire. I've been getting a lot of compliments on that track, and it's super. Took me like 20 minutes to make that beat, chop the sample up. I think I only added like a snare after I chopped it.
Oh man.
What is it?
Why the name? I'm sorry. I sput out loud because I haven't seen this one in a long time, and it just brought me back to when I butchered that name the first time around.
Bring it up. What is it?
It's the Orphanage Builder DeGrom. Do you remember when I said that first time?
I can't remember how you said it. Orphanage. Orphanage. That show was hilarious. I do remember though.
So
as the king of New York, Miz is a certified New Yorker. That's big facts right there. Miz is New York, man. I'm telling you straight up. Make sure y'all go sub. And Orphanage Builder, we definitely appreciate you pulling up with that $2 super chat. Haven't seen you in a minute, man. Hope all is well on your end, man. We're going over this last over-under with Devin Singletary getting over, 59 rushing yards? Yeah, 59 rushing yards versus the Chiefs. Miz, I need to know, Devin Singletary, over 59 rushing yards or under? What you doing with this one time while we take this super chat from the homie NTW?
The $4.99 super chat from Nick DeWick. If I make it one day, I'm never forgetting any of you guys and will hook all of you up. Giants YouTube is a special place. It's really family. Appreciate that, Nick DeWick. Fam-a-lamb here all day.
That's big facts, NTW. You already know, man. And one hand wash the other, bro. If we ever get big and we do something crazy with this channel or anything in life, all y'all coming with us, man. Especially my mods, man. Definitely appreciate y'all holding us down in the chat, making this making this chat really friendly and very welcoming and very family-like. We definitely appreciate that. Nick DeWick's going under on Devin Singletary's 59 rushing yards versus the Chiefs. And Miz is taking the over one time. Shout out my homie Juice Jones one time in the building too, man. Make sure y'all go sub up to Juice Jones Creates. He's doing a lot for the mental health and mental awareness space. We're going to be working on a bunch of stuff coming the off season. Shout out to Juice, man. I still got to get up with you, Juice. We got to wrap. Tomorrow's actually probably a good day. Give me a buzz, bro. And Miz says over, but not by that much. All right, so I think we got every submission in for Devin Singletary's over or under 59 yards rushing versus the Chiefs. The Beard, what you got?
Over. He's been on a tear lately. I'm going to go over.
I'm right there with you, man. He's been balling out as of late. I'm taking the over 59 yards. Seems to be the feature back. I said it like maybe about 5-6 weeks back. From him and Zach Moss, it seems like Singletary is the guy who's been taking that 1A position over there late in the season. So I'm going to go over the 59 yards, but not by that much. I think he'll get like around 68, maybe 75 yards on the day. Shout out to Mike Gorga, who also takes the over. And Zach is giving his Super Bowl prediction moving forward. He says 49ers versus the Titans, which is probably the most unlikely Super Bowl you could probably think of, I think.
Literally, the two biggest underdogs to make the Super Bowl odds-wise going into this weekend.
Oh, and Nick the Wick, yo, the first whip broke down. The second whip is a Mustang. 2010 V6 nice. Coupe, only got 45K on that thing. Mint condition. Oh, you about to be bagging a bunch of shorties in that Mustang. V6. What's the NASCAR? Vroom, vroom, vroom. Yeah, that's how you gonna pull up, bro. That's what's up, Nick the Wick. Salute on the new vehicle, man. Ain't nothing like getting some new wheels.
Buckle up.
Definitely buckle up. Definitely buckle up one time. We got another super chat in here from Pete the Skeet. Shout out to
Pete the Skeet for the 20 dubs. Super chat says, what's up, dudes? I know I never comment and rarely get to watch live, but just wanted you guys to know I appreciate the content that you guys put out. I'll tell you really something awesome really fast. Pete the Skeet, even though I don't see you in here or during the lives, I know your name and your, what are we calling the picture again?
You call it whatever you want to. I call it the profile pic. You
The
call it the
profile
avatar.
picture, because you were at the top of the list of the recent subscribers. Every time I go into the back end of YouTube to do all the descriptions and everything, I see you every single time I go in there. So big shout out to Pete the Skeet. It's great to finally meet you.
Definitely. Big shout outs to Pete the Skeet, man. We appreciate the $20 super chat, bro. And we appreciate your presence here, man. Even if you're not dropping comments or joining the live chat and can't catch the lives, just supporting our channel how you just did right there is crazy, bro. We definitely really appreciate that, man. Me and The Beard have been putting in a lot of work now. This is our third season doing Authentic and The Beard. And it's one of my new loves, man. Like, I love this just as much as I love making music and cinematography and all the other hobbies that I'm involved in, man. So definitely big salute to you, bro. We definitely appreciate that. Couldn't do it without people like you supporting the channel, man. Creating content and going live like this, especially for over 3 hours, man, it takes a lot of time out of your day, man. So we definitely appreciate you pulling up and showing some support for the channel, bro.
Facts.
All right, so let's see. What's my man Miz? I see my man Miz talking some talk over here too.
What did you do though?
I went over.
Over?
Yeah, I went over on that one.
Book of gold here, guys. The
book of gold. It's like Eminem's rap book that got lost. If it's okay, sub up, but these two here are top of the game. Dang, thank you, Miz. We appreciate that, bro. Definitely appreciate that, man. Miz, couldn't do this without you, bro. I've met some great people in the Giants community, man. It's been an awesome ride for Authentic and The Beard here, man. Like, just all these new faces, all the new people I've got to chop it up with about Giants football and all, man. It's just been great, man. We definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. It's been 3 hours, 15 minutes. The over-under section is completely over. We definitely appreciate y'all pulling up today, man. Today was a good show, man. The Beard, any last words for the people before we get up out of here? Try to keep us under that 3 hour, 20-minute mark?
Nah, just big shout outs to everybody, man. I appreciate all the love and all the support. Like, all the new subscribers, thank you guys. All the kind words. That sort of stuff just means the most. And I want to say how awesome it's been doing these interactive things with the chat. It really gives us an opportunity to kind of, vibe. Even though we always vibe with the chat no matter what, it's just been really fun. I remember the first time we ever did anything like this was last year in the playoffs, and I was just like, I remembered that initial thing, and then watching it on Giant Overreaction, and then over the last couple of weeks, it's been a lot of fun. I don't mind at all, hours after hours after hours of doing over and unders with you guys. It's so much fun. So yeah, I want to thank everybody definitely wholeheartedly. You guys absolutely rock. So thank you guys very much.
That's a good way to put it. You guys absolutely rock. That is big facts right there, man. Well, that's going to do it. This was the Divisional Round preview with your boys, Authentic and The Beard. Left side.
Strong side.
Y'all know what it is. Before we get up out of here, especially to all the new subscribers who just got to tune in today, when we leave the show every week, we leave the show with biceps in the chat for the left side, strong side duo. So let's see some biceps in the chat before we get up out of here, man. It's going to wrap up another episode of Authentic and The Beard. Y'all know what it is, man. We appreciate all of y'all for rocking with us. 3 hours, 16 minutes, man. I'm not even really that tired. My right shoulder kind of giving me a little old man pain right now in the back, but that's about it. Yeah, I had to do a good little stretch, you know what I'm saying, man? I've been sitting in this chair, but I paid good money for this chair. This chair has definitely been holding me down throughout this season, just like all of y'all have in the chat, man. We definitely appreciate all of y'all, and y'all know what it is over here at Authentic and The Beard, man. Keep raising that bar, y'all. Every day. Don't let nobody tell you that your life is meaningless. You got to put the value on your life, yo. Ain't nobody going to do this but you. So keep raising that bar. Y'all know what it is. Keep living those dreams out there, man. We couldn't do this without y'all. This is one of our dreams, and we are definitely living it, and a lot of that has to do with all of y'all in the chat. I'm going to take it day by day and try to keep raising my bar, and I'm going to keep living those dreams. I hope y'all do the same. We're going to catch y'all after these games. We will catch y'all on Tuesday for a recap of divisional playoff. And that's it. That's Authentic and The Beard for y'all, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Be good. Enjoy y'all football on Saturday and Sunday. These awkward times. It's going to be super fun. I can't wait.
But one's Sunday because it's like an hour, it's like 2 hours.
Like they kind of gave you a Super Bowl time slot kind of vibe. I don't know why they did that, man, but definitely enjoy y'all games. When y'all catch us on Tuesday, we're going to know what teams are going to be playing for a bid to get into the Super Bowl, man. We are here, man. We are definitely here. Unfortunately, the Washington football team and my New York Giants are not in the playoffs or making a push. But, hey, we always got the draft, right? We always got the draft.
Next year.
And hopefully the New York Giants have a general manager next time we see y'all. But y'all know what it is, man. Be good. Keep living them dreams. Keep raising that bar. We will see y'all on Tuesday. Peace.